Mankind is getting totally ratioed by monsters and zombies. Hero Ios tries to solo the undead knight with his ult, but gets clapped. He drops to his knees, roasting from the enemy's magic juice. Before turning into literal toast, he just admits the death knight is built different. Total beast, knight's chillin' with 0 damage, flexing a huge sword and creepy mask. Just staring at the absolute wreck, his squad mate of the map. Helm comes off, and plot twist, he's got innocent blue human peepers. Big Boss Undead is vibing in the back, loving the mayhem. He's hyped that he finally humbled the Empire, all thanks to his own wicked power level, proving that waiting for revenge just makes it hit different. The boss poses over a pile of bodies in a spooky drip, staring down the captured Emperor like, look at you now. It's Dorgo, an archlich who's been AFK for 1,000 years just to troll. The Emperor, Adele Light, is literally crying while screaming at Dorgo for deleting his kingdom, asking if the guy is too cool for hell or something. Dorgo doesn't care. He's basically drinking the salty tears. He mocks the Emperor like he didn't yappin'. It's coronation time. The Emperor is asking about a coronation. Dorgo throws a peace sign, bragging, claims he's the first to unite the whole server. So obviously, he deserves the Emperor title. Dorgo pivots to his squad and knights, tells MGG, orders the crown brought over, and they obey fast. Death Knight grabs the shiny hat and slow walks to Dorgo praises him for being a total simp for the cause, saying he carried the team to the dub. Dorgo's happy and thinks about giving him a bonus. Then he's like, nah, calling the Death Knight just a slave programmed to do his dirty work. Why Dorgo runs his mouth? The knight eats the crown up. Dorgo is clueless until the knight smashes the crown and rushes him. Everyone gasps, but Dorgo reacts and pops a dark red aura to delete the traitor. Knight dodges hard and speedblitzes a stab right to the chest. Dorgo's stunned since his shields were up, but the hit went through. He's stuck in a state of confusion until the knight drops the creepy red glare. Talking normally, he says it feels good to move freely. Dorgo freaks out since he thought he wiped the guy's hard drive. The knight admits, joke's on you. I was faking it. Turns out, the Death Knight was conscious the whole time, but he was trapped in his own body, unable to twitch a muscle. Dorgo is hyped, hearing this, bragging that the knight is his best creation yet. He tells the knight, have your little tantrum now. I'll leash you later. He swears he'll hack his way back into control of that body. Minions swarm the Death Knight like angry bees to take him. Dan Bahi's so OP he just blasts them all into dust instantly. Dorgo's jaw drops. His elite squad got one Seeing this mess go south fast, Dorgo spams necromancy, reviving corpses to jump the traitor. Zombies charge, but the knight just whispers one word. Boom! He unleashes this wild, purple vibe that hacks the zombies' brains instantly. The energy surges through them, and pop. They shatter like glass. Dorgo is shook, staring like, is this dude a god or what? Knowing he's totally losing control, Dorgo tries to talk his way out of the beat. Look, I get the rage, he says. I'd be mad too. Then he smirks. But you can't win. If my body breaks, I just swap souls. He bets he can re-enslave the knight once he hops to a new skin. Knight's like, cool story. I just want to end you. Killing you was the only thing keeping me sane in there. Dorgo laughs, until Knight reveals his custom soul-deleter technique. Dorgo panics, yelling la, that cheat code doesn't exist. Knight powers up and unleashes the forbidden combo on Dorgo. Blue laser incoming. Dorgo freezes up, debating whether to dodge. Too slow. Knight reaches him and smacks him into next week. Dorgo sticks to landing, checks his HP, and laughs. Huh, I'm alive. You missed. Suddenly, pain spikes, and he screams his lungs out. Sky cracks open, a laser hits him, and he shatters into dust. Dorgo is toast. Only his gross skull remains. Knight stomps it flat. See you in hell, loser? The Emperor watches, wondering if he's hallucinating this entire drama. Knight drops to his knees. Finally, the nightmare is over. But wait, he's got one last item on the to-do list. Gotta make amends to the people. Dying is the only way to say sorry to the fam properly. So he faceplants right onto his giant sword. Brutal. Blackout then, Damien, who is calling his real name, eyes open. A girl looms over him. Why nap here, weirdo? Damien, RMC is just hyped. He gets a redo, catching a glimpse of the girl's mug right before kicking the bucket. Wait, she looks way younger than my memory files. She grins, telling Doman to quit the smooth talk. She thinks he's just buttering her up before dad goes nuke. Plot twist, that chick is actually his big sis. She yells to hustle inside cause the sky is about to leak. Damon shook. Didn't he wreck this whole mansion himself? Gotta be a dream. The whole Dorgo drama, total nightmare fuel. So he snags a sturdy twig to test reality. He strikes a hero pose in front of a boulder, whacks the stone and boom, it explodes. Wild, Domain cackles like a total creep. He finally gets it. He drops to his knees, bawling, and Histy, nope, definitely not dreaming. Somehow, he glitched back to the past. Miracle mode. Dude's crying Old Doman was a pro at ruining the fam. Dad was always stressed because of his mess. Last stunt, wrecked a pub and got tossed out. Pops couldn't believe how much he trashed their rep. Just a magnet for disaster. 24/7. Once, he clocked a rich kid from the Leon Bloom crew. So sis got sold off to marry the dude he punched. Oop. He even pawned the family land for cash. Mom was crushed. When Dad finally snapped at his antics, he booted him out. On his way out, sis slips him cash and says, "Be happy." Doman was floored. He was the reason her life sucked, yet she still had his back. Snatching the loot, running away, the guilt finally hit him hard. Back in the past, he wonders how this madness happened. He planned to say, sorry, but time travel. Didn't see that coming? Staring up, he figures it's some divine redo button. He knew time rewound, cause that move was from his future self. That move basically jacks up a punch's power by a ton. Learned it after defeating the Castle Wall Destroyer Knight. Then, a voice. A servant runs up, totally winded. Damon's brain buffers trying to recall the guy's name. Oh, right, it's Victor. Vic's like, why you still out here? Louise said, come in. Dad's raging, says Victor. Doman asks, what did I do now? Vic looks confused. Since Doman did the crime, shouldn't he remember? Doman heads in to face the boss music. Pops nearly takes his head off with a sword, but he ducks just in time. You can practically smell the fury radiating off the old man. Damon's mom and sister have to jump in and tackle the guy before he goes full berserker mode. He screams at Doman for acting a fool at the pub and getting booted out. Pops is livid that he's constantly finding creative ways to trash their reputation. He vows to squash his kid flat, but the ladies beg him to chill out. Doman just vibes, soaking it all in. It's been ages since he heard the old man yell. Dad's name is Paul Osborne Haxon. Mom's Milda, and the sis is Louise. Getting chewed out actually makes him tear up. Weirdly, he missed this family drama. Everyone freezes when they spot the Paul demands to hear whatever lame story he cooked up this time. Shocker Doman tells him he's got zip, no alibis. Paul nods, figuring there's no way he could talk his way out of this anyway. Then it hits. Paul, something's weird here. Isn't this the problem child who always has a slick lie ready? Doman admits he knows he messed up and dragged the Hoxton Viscount name through the mud. He looks his dad in the eye and swears. He's not dodging blame. He owns every bit of the chaos. Paul's about to go off again when Doman suddenly bows deep, promising to fix every mess he made. Paul's jaw hits the floor as he watches his kid walk out the door. On his way out, Doman yells that he'll be back to face the music once he's cleaned up his mess. The fam stands there stunned. Paul figures the kid must have bumped his noggin hard to act this weird. A bit later, Doman heads for Landwork, the merchant hub. He drags Victor along. They pull up to the dive. Doman wants to visit. Victor's sweating bullets. Rumor has it, this place is backed by a scary mob. He's terrified for Doman, but the boss tells him to bail if he's chicken. Victor says no dicey can't leave his side now. Doman promises he isn't there to start a brawl. He just wants to say sorry to the owner and bounce. He really wants to set things right. Victor crosses his fingers, hoping they don't die. Walking up, Doman knows his time warp is a total mystery. But he got a doover, and he isn't gonna blow it. Time to be the good son and stop dragging the family rep through the dirt. He steps up to the door, where two thugs are on watch. The bouncers blink, shocked to see him back, asking what he wants now. Doman honestly forgot what he did years ago, but the guys look familiar. Skipping the small talk, Demon tells him he's just there to say sorry to the boss for the last fiasco. The guards look like they just saw a ghost. They're totally confused why Doman is randomly trying to apologize. The bouncers just roast Damien, calling him a total clown. Zero chilly start. They start trash-talking him as the family disappointment. Then one guard crosses the line and drags his sister into it. He claims she's a hottie and literally the only good thing about his family. Smack. He slaps Doman, saying they'll take the apology for a price. They want an intro to his cute sister so they can, get friendly. Gross. These creeps think they're hilarious and start cracking up. Knife to the face. Okay, Doman is officially done with this garbage. Before Bro can blink, Doman swipes the blade. Doman sighs. He really just wanted to say sorry and bounce. Duragai starts screaming. Doman demanding he give back the toy he just Doman twirls the blade. Rage mode activated. Since Duragai loves pointing, Doman chops that hand right off. Dude shrieks as his hand goes skydiving. They freeze, brains buffering. Did that actually just happen? Damien is furious, leaking pure killer vibes everywhere. He strikes a menacing pose, ready to show these goons what trash from the Hax Viscount family can actually do. Victor peeps from his hiding spot, and he's literally sobbing. This chaos, definitely not the plan. The drama attracts a crowd, eager for the tea. The guy with two hands flexes, asking if Doman knows his crew. Damien just shrugs. He couldn't care less about their little club. Doman dares him to swing. Come on, bring it. Instead, the guy flashes a snake tattoo on his fist. He claims Black Snake Gang. Mess with them. Big mistake. Black Snake rings the bell. Oh, right. Damien forgot. They're that shady group taking over the city lately. Guess they're working security for this bar now, too. Last time, Damien just hated the food and got jumped for it. He'd begged them to chill, even offering to pay up. Remembering that beatdown, Damien flips the script and realizes they owe him an apology. Not the reverse. Doman grins. Now he has a legit excuse to wreck them. The guards see him, smiling like a maniac, and wonder what's so funny. Thug warns he won't go easy just cause Damon's a noble. He rushes full speed. Doman just ... sidesteps. Smooth. Guy trips and face plants hard into the dirt. Doman says he could end him, but spares him for the Suddenly, the guy senses danger. He ghosts behind the guy and stabs his leg, sending shockwaves of pain. Now both guards are screeching, like band. But jokes on him for more goons spawn in. Boss man asks, who sent him? Doman ghosts, came to say, sorry, but realized y'all actually owe me one. So our boy demands a meeting with the big cheese to file a Karen-level complaint. Instead of chilling out, the tough guys decide to teach him a lesson in respect. After some serious trash talk, the leader shouts, get him. 3 dudes rush him, but Doman doesn't even flinch. He sighs, ready to show them why math is hard but dying is easy. Zoom, he dashes past, turning their limbs into confetti instantly. The leader's jaw hits the floor, listening to the scream choir. One guy's armless, the other's hopping on one leg. But Damon's bummed. 3 KOs, and he's already winded. Lame. He asks the boss if he wants to keep dancing, but the guy puts his hands up like, nope, I quit. He tries to bolt, but Doman snags him fast. Party vibes die instantly when Doman walks in, blade at the guy's neck. He cold clocks the hostage and poses in the doorway like a total final boss. Customers freak out and scatter like roaches to avoid getting sliced. The place clears out, and Anderson, the owner, finally shows his face. From the balcony, he screams, what is this drama? Then he spots Doman center stage, clutching a blade. Where's my security? Anderson yells. Bingo, found the owner. Doman shouts back, your security is retired. Anderson can't believe this kid soloed the Black Snake crew. He rages, who do you think you are, trashing my spot? So Doman drops his real name. Look, I don't want beef, he says, just say sorry. Anderson looks lost, so Doman breaks it down for him. Your drinks are a ripoff, and I complained, got jumped, and yeeted out the door. Now everyone thinks I'm some drunk loser. Plus, my fam took a huge L because of this. Lost what? You mean your family's honor? Anderson sneers. Then he laughs. The Haxon family? Please? You garbage never had honor. That comment hits. A nerve. Doman stays quiet, letting the guy dig his own grave. I ain't apologizing, Anderson says. You pay me for the mess. Doman just smirks. I was gonna let it slide with a simple, I'm sorry. But since you want to be a jerk about it, class is in session. Doman lunges at Anderson, blade ready, but suddenly catches a sus vibe. He reacts instantly, blocking the ambush in the nick of time. The impact eats Doman straight back into the bar counter. Turns out, Hoodie Guy is a legit knight named Ted. Damon shook. Someone with your stats guarding this dump. Ted ghosts him. So Demon asks why a pro is wasting talent here. Ted flexes on the balcony, his aura lighting up the room like a flare. Basically, knights are the absolute legends of combat. Their hierarchy has 3 specific tiers. Top dog is official knight, then apprentice, then the trainee scrubs. Your rank depends purely on your skill issue or lack thereof. Official knights spam their aura hacks whenever they want. One tap deletes mountains and slices castle, walls like butter. Official knights are basically built different. God mode active. Anderson hypes Ted up. He's an apprentice and tight with the boss. He tells Doman, bro, you are absolutely cooked. Doman is surprised Ted is only a mid-tier apprentice. Finally realizing why that aura spike felt kinda weak. Ted is triggered. Doman sniffed out his aura without him flexing it. Doman keeps roasting him, saying he totally gets why Ted is stuck working in a hole like this. Bet you washed out, cause you lack the talent to go pro. Anderson asks, yo Ted, what's the price tag to end him? Ted snaps, forget cash. I'm already salty. It's personal. He launches at Doman, to humble him for yapping too much. Doman smooth steps back, dodging the blade. Isley missed me. Ted smashes the floor, raging and swinging, while trying to zero him. Doman weaves through every hit like it is nothing, admitting Ted is decent for a dropout, despite the rank. He analyzes. Movements are sloppy, but the aim is spicy. Ted is fuming, absolutely seeing red as he swings hard, forcing Doman to hop back to safety. Damon's gas tank is hitting empty. New body, zero cardio. Mid-fight, he is already planning a stamina grind for later. Then Ted winds up his secret ult move. Domin clocks the stance instantly. He knows this one. Ted charges in. Domin shuts his eyes to lock in. If Ted wants to trade heavy hits, Domin is ready to match that energy. Prayer wind, there was this scary dude called Phantom Assassin. Domin ended up crossing paths with him during his Death Knight era. Fenton guy warned him, move or get wrecked. When he refused, the assassin popped his secret skill. It basically gives you X-ray cheats on the human body. He screams Blade of Death and rushes the knight like a total weeb. The move is so OP, it literally slices the undead dude in half. The Phantom Assassin starts flexing about how broken his skill is, then spins around to see the knight glitching back together. That's when he realizes, oh snap, this guy is actually a zombie. Ironically, the assassin gets wrecked by his own move. The Phantom Assassin, left wondering how the knight just copy-pasted his move. Hacks? Flash forward, Doman pulls the same stunt on Ted. Ted gets folded. Doman recalls, every loser makes that shocked face before dying. Once Damien leveled up to Death Knight, unlocked a cheat code, stealing enemy skills for himself. Anderson realizes he is totally cooked the second he sees Ted get dropped by Damien. He flips instantly, grabbing the guards to say, my bad to Damien. Anderson hits the floor, simping hard just to get Doman to listen. To save his skin, he throws in a fat stack of cash. Doman just wanted an apology. But hey, free money, he'll take it. He plays it cool, saying the cash is low, but he'll let it slide. Anderson is sweating buckets, as he hopes Doman won't flip. Doman tells Victor, secure the bag. Victor creeps in, grabbing loot, and wondering when Doman got he never would have believed Doman soloed the guards without seeing it. Once the cash is packed, the boys get ready to bounce. Anderson stays on the floor, wishing them a safe trip home. Victor shook, telling Doman he's never seen this much dough. Hearing that makes Anderson literally die of sorrow. He vows to snitch to the Black Snake boss to get his refund. Anderson is plotting revenge when Doman turns back. You're not done yet. Demand triggers the skill, and before anyone blinks, he slices Anderson's ear off. Dude screams. The guards gate. Doman drops a final warning before dipping. Tell Black Snake, mess with my fam, and you're all deleted. Anderson rolls around on the floor, clutching the side of his head. He swears revenge. Meanwhile, Doman and Victor peace out. Doman knows this stunt won't erase his past drama, but he's got to make sure his fam isn't disappointed in this run. Meanwhile, at the Bloom Estate, the young master is plotting something sus. He tells his sis he's off to find a GF, smirking like a creep. A bit later, Doman and Victor pull up to the estate. Damon's just hyped. He finally caught some decent sleep. Victor's a total wreck because he's stressed all night. Dude's brain was totally stuck on yesterday's drama. Doman admits they went off script. But hey, sweet loot. Plus, the tea is gonna spill. About some fool trying Paul's kid and getting absolutely wrecked. Once that gossip hits the streets, peeps will finally respect the fam and stop trying us. Doman smirks, betting his loser rep is finally history. Vic's shook that Doma actually gets the vibe, since he used to be totally clueless. Vic's hyped, but low-key freaking out over the Black Snake. Vic goes, bro, you folded their squad in that baby night. Doman chills. Vic swearing, those snakes ain't bold enough to touch us. But if they want to try it, Damien, he's ready to throw hands. So Vic needs to chill out. Vic nods, mainly cause he saw Damien go beast mode earlier. Vic asks where the heck he learned to slice and dice those snakes like that. Damien lies, claiming he just practiced sometimes. Suddenly, Paul's yelling and storming down the hall at him. Dad's packing his blade on his hip, just his usual beater sword, aka the love stick. Yikes. But Paul just grabs him, panicking about where he's been. Pops thinks he was out starting drama again. Damon's like, chill, told you I'd fix my mess. Remember? Damon tells Vic to flash the cash right now. Vic obeys, whipping out the dough and the deed. The rent's nearly passed out seeing that sweet stash. Mom actually swooned and Paul had to catch her. Doman claims he went back to the club to fix the vibe. He swears it was chill and the owner gave him cash to say sorry. Paul's totally sus, but Doman swears it's legit. Mom totally buys it though. She tells hubby he couldn't get that bank unless he was being real. So Damien tells Pops to just grill Victor if he's doubting. Vic's Shuki got dragged into this mess. Doman winks at Vic, signaling, back me up, bro. Vic stutters, looking awkward, but swears it's legit. Once Vic backs him up, Doman asks if Pops buys it now, but he's still iffy. Mom's already on Team Damon though. She tells him she's super proud. Victor's jaw hits the floor. Damien is a terrifyingly good liar. But hey, grind time? Damien starts his workout. He knows his stats are trash weak, and Sloso, his first priority is boosting that stamina bar. Luckily, he actually managed to snag a rare potion. It's loot from Anderson, supposedly some top-tier alchemy academy juice meant to max out energy. Those academy nerds basically live to brew up drinks. Their stuff costs a fortune, like trading diamonds for a sip, kind of expensive. Damien knows he totally lucked out scoring this bad boy. He pops the cork and chugs the whole thing down the hatch. Boom! Instant buff. He feels like a nuclear reactor ready to explode with energy. He figures getting swell starts with fixing his endurance. The goal? Hit Death Knight level. Again. Why? Because Dorgo's zombie apocalypse drops in a few years. Damien needs to get strong enough to spawn Camp Dorgo. It's the only way to keep his family safe and happy. So, he resumes his grind, hyping himself up to wreck Dorgo, absolutely no matter what happens. Meanwhile, at the Black Snake's creepy tower base, the boss is this gross, blob-like trash heap. When his minions dragged injured Ted in, the boss just shrugged. Dump him. 0 heals given, even though Ted could be saved. This guy, Cedric, thinks it's a total bummer that Ted is broken goods now. A lackey double checks, but Cedric is cold. Toss him out. He's useless loot now. Cedric figures cash can buy literally anyone. If the price tag is high enough, he turns to leave. But surprise, Ted wobbles to his feet, looking super salty. Cedric blinks, genuinely shocked. Whoa, you've still got HP left? He flips the script. Okay, go heal up. Maybe I'll rehire you later. But Ted, he is so done with this guy's nonsense. He grabs his sword and rushes Cedric, aiming to delete his account permanently. Out of nowhere, creepy dark vibes grab Ted and freeze him in place. Ted's stunned. A mage appears asking, "Is this guy target number 1 for our deal?" Cedric nods instantly. He's dying to see this mage's skills in action. Ted yells, "Let me go," but the mage just mutters a spell, and the dark grip tightens hard. That shadow stuff morphs into freaky bats that start munching on Ted. Ted screams as they tear him 2 pixels. It's a total gore. When the bats finish snacking, literally just a boot is left. Cedric and his crew recall. The visual was bad, but the smell, nasty. The mage turns and asks if he enjoyed the show. Yeah, Cedric says, but keep it less messy next time. Okay, sure thing, the mage promises. So, what's the actual mission? Cedric spills the tea. Someone messed with his crew, but the guy is a noble. Too risky to attack him directly. He needs the mage to handle the dirty work for him. Make sure Doman suffers. More pain equals more cash for you, wizard boy, just to prove he isn't playing games. Cedric tosses the dude a heavy coin pouch up front. The mage grins like he won the lotto, promising to fix all his drama. Days later, Damien has leveled up his stats. Dude is way buffered now. He's stoked that magic energy drink actually kicked in. But weirdly, the Black Snake gang is ghosting him. Super sus. Suddenly, his spidey senses tingle. Someone's lurking in the bushes. Damien figures it's gotta be the Snake gang coming for round 2. He drops his bottle and dives in to snatch the creeper. He chokes the guy out before realizing, oops, wrong dude. The guy gasping for air. His baby brother, Abel. My bad. Doman drops him fast before he accidentally deletes his sibling. Abel's shook. Since when did his bro get this swole? In just a few days? Kid was legit terrified. Doman was gonna snap him like a twig. Looking at him, Doman flashes back to his tragic death. Before the time travel reset. He was totally losing his cool back then. Doman snaps out of it, offering a hand. My bad for the chokehold. Abel ignores the hand. Save your sorries. I ain't here for that. He's just here to fact-check Dad's wild story. Heard Doman wrecked a bar and got an apology. Sounds fake to him. Abel doesn't buy that. His wimpy brother is capable of brawling. He thinks Damien is straight up lying. Damien promises, "Dude, I'm for real. No cap." Abel ain't buying it. He yells, "You can't even fight, bro. Did you hire muscle?" Doman insists, "Nah, all me." Abel rages, "Trick everyone else, but don't try playing me." Finger in face, he warns, "Don't you dare ruin this family." Abel goes on about how Doman is a total walking disaster. That they always clean up. Suddenly, Doman pats his head. He knows Abel's the stressful golden child, holding it all together. Abel furiously. SWATS. At the hand, get off, but he can't budget an inch. Damon gets why he's scared, but says, "Chill, nothing bad's gonna happen." Barry got that out when Victor runs in. Bad news, guys, they're confused. But, it all makes sense once they walk inside the house. Sitting with the parents, that trashy noble plotting against Damien, he grins. "Just telling Mom and Dad about your banquet exploits." Claims he had to visit, since his dad found out. Yeah right, that's when it finally hits, DAMEN, that he ticked someone off and totally forgot. The scum is Erwin Lionbloom, wearing the creepiest smile ever. Erwin asks, "You remember our little moment?" Damon's brain buffers. loading the banquet hall memory. Erwin totally trashed his fam, but he tried playing it cool. Doman was livid, cause Erwin roasted him and his sister. Erwin's zero regret vibe made Doman snap. He grabbed a bottle, but the jerk kept pushing. He leaned in close, whispering that he was a total, and swore he wasn't sorry for any of it. The man knew it was bait, but he bit anyway and decked the guy. That punch was exactly what Erwin wanted. Totally trapped. Now, at their crib, Erwin demanded payback. He wants Louise? Paul was shook to hear that. Then Erwin told him to hand over Louise. The whole room gasped, totally stunned. But Doman totally saw this coming. Same old trick. He's using their lack of cash against them. Erwin claimed that putting a wedding ring on Louise's finger would fix this whole mess. Paul was terrified but refused to hand over his girl. He said Louise is already engaged, so it's a hard pass. Hearing that, Erwin raged. So how you gonna fix this disrespect? He asked Paul if they could survive his fam's fury. Erwin made Paul pick a side right now. Pay the price for the shade or let him marry Louise. Turns out, the Lion Bloom fam basically runs this kingdom, but Paul would rather fight them than lose his daughter. Then Louise walked in, agreeing to go with the creep. Her fam freaked out, screaming at her to stop being impulsive, cause they'd find another way. While they yelled, Doman stayed quiet, dreading the replay. Louise just smiled and told her, "Fam, she's fine with it." Erwin grinned. He finally won. Erwin stood up, calling Louise a total genius. Before bouncing, he promised them the official papers would drop soon enough. He almost reached Louise when a raging Doman blocked him. Erwin smirked. "Got something to add to the deal, bro?" He even teased, "Should I call you brother-in-law now?" Doman couldn't believe this. Garbus ruined his sis's life when San was trying for round 2. Doman muttered a Burnat shocked Excuse me, asked Erwin. Mid-sentence, Damon's uppercut launched him. Like before, Doman knew he shouldn't have taken the bait, but he couldn't just stand there and watch Erwin act up. Erwin face-planted in the most embarrassing way possible. Damon remembered their visit post-wedding in his past life. He'd rushed to the door, dying to see his sis. He opened up, ready to chat, then froze in horror. Erwin was literally dragging Louise by her hair. Erwin's whining that Louise is a total nag, so he dragged her back. Dude is fuming that she actually has the guts to ask for a divorce. Lou's face is a mess. From the daily smackdowns she gets from him. Even at her rent's place, Erwin is ready to beat her senseless just to shut her up. Damien froze as Erwin wailed on his sis, hiding like a coward. Damien knows it's his bad that Louise got snatched up, but this time, he ain't forgiving Erwin for it. Erwin's goons hear the ruckus and rush in to snoop. Shocked to see their boss floored by Damien, they instantly whip out their gear, asking if Damien's the one who wrecked their boss. Erwin hops up, weapon out. Liva Damien slapped his mug twice, points his blade at Damien, like, "You wanna die, kid?" Guards tell him to chill while they handle the brat. They don't want a scene with people watching. But Erwin says, "Move, he's handling this clown himself." Redhead argues, but gets decked into the wall for it. Erwin has totally lost it, and he isn't letting anyone stop his rampage now. Walks to Damien, asking how he plans to fix this mess. Lou knows Erwin won't bail and is freaking out, begging him to quit. But Damien tells his sister to chill, promising he's got this handled. No way is he letting his sis take the fall again. Damien's idea? Let's settle this with a duel. Tells Erwin he'll obey orders if he gets beat. But if he wins, Erwin has to ghost them forever. Erwin protests, saying that deal is totally lame. Notes that Louise already agreed to leave with him. Damien plays the scared card to twist things. That is enough to drive Erwin up the wall. Can't believe Damien's acting tough cause of a lucky shot. Erwin is already itching for a way to make Damien pay, and a duel is perfect. Plans to crush Damien and take the girl to... Erwin smirks like a creep and accepts the challenge. Soon, they head to the yard to throw down. Mom's freaking out, begging Dad to stop the madness. Dad's scared but knows Damien has a plan. If not, they better pray for a miracle. Abel, though, thinks his bro doesn't have a chance since Erwin is basically a pro knight. Abel is sure his brother is gonna get crushed. Fight starts. Erwin asks why Damien has no sword. Damien tells Erwin, "Chill, bro, I don't need steel for this." He whips out a fork. This is plenty. The crowd goes dead silent. His fam nearly flatlines seeing the dinnerware defense. Erwin cracks up. "You lost it? Scared stupid or something?" Then he gets serious. "No mercy. Fork or not, you're toast." He rushes in. Swing. Miss Damien sidesteps like it's nothing. Erwin's not laughing now. Playtime's over. He pops his old fierce roaring lion sword. Cringe name. He charges, bring in major heat. Bam! Dust cloud everywhere. Classic anime move. Dust settles, and Damien's just chilling there. Guards are shook. How's he not a shish kebab? Erwin knows he went fast, but he can't process that. Damien ghosted every single strike of his combo. Damien sees the panic. Smirk. All that grinding lately is paying off. Plus, He knows the Bloom family moveset by heart. He fought Erwin's bro, Michael, in a past life. And honestly, Erwin is way scrubbier than his bro. Erwin decides to stop holding back, figures the dodge was a glitch. Try this new. A gnarly, swirling vibe explodes off him. Even Damien's like, okay. Aura buff, tricky. Erwin jumps. Midair, Damien cues up the perfect counter. He selects Sword Saint style. And wait for it blocks the nuke with a dinner fork. Flashbang effect. Once visibility returns, Erwin's jaw drops. His blades pinned by silverware. Damien chains into Thunder Shadow mode. Yoink disarms him and tosses the sword. Erwin's wide open. Damien rushes. Scary vibes, maxed out. Gets close. Fork aimed right at the jugular. Crowd holds its breath. Is he gonna do it? Plot twist. He doesn't end him. Just a poke. Erwin hits the dirt, squealing like a toddler. Wanted to finish it, but spares him for the fam's sake. GG, Damien wins. Beef squashed, hopefully. Erwin saw the afterlife, so he's not arguing. The elf just sees a demon in human form. Nearly waits himself when told to scram. Next day, breakfast. Nibbles a bit, then bounces. Thanks for the grub. I'm bouncing out of train. The room goes dead quiet the second the door shuts. Once he's gone, Milda turns to hubby. You gonna grill him about last night? Abel, though, he is absolutely losing his marbles. He can't process that. His trash brother, usually a twig, just went beast mode and flattened a tank like Irvin. Abel's forced to face facts. His bro rebooted into a new human. Milda spots Abel's panic and nudges her husband. We gotta ask how he leveled up so fast. She hints. Paul finally speaks up. Everyone, take a chill pill. Let the kid breathe. No interrogation necessary. He'll spill the beans when he's ready. Trust me. Milda drops it, telling Abel to fix his face and get a grip. Secretly though, Paul is dying to know too. He's actually the most curious, but his gut screams, don't ask. Sure, Doman is his kid, but he has this scary vibe now. Paul feels it. Later, Dame is prepped. He straps 10 kilo weights to his legs. Hardcore mode, gotta boost stamina. He turns to go, but Louise is super hyped. He hasn't left yet. She's clutching a sword. Doman zips over to her. She brings up yesterday, but Doman cuts in, assuming he's toast. Louise stammers, but Doman bows deep. Sis, my bad. Seriously, I was reckless and made things super awkward for you. He promises her that it won't happen again. Louise cuts him off. Bro, wrong idea. Louise pats his shoulder. Dummy, I'm glad you stood up for me. Honestly, I was totally terrified, she admits. Almost went with Irvin, but my gut screamed, no way. Doman blinks, stunned. He finally gets what she wanted. You stepping in? Best thing ever. Louise beams. She grins. Seriously, I appreciate you. Damien exhales. Nah, I should be thanking you. All good. He turns to leave, but she goes, wait. She holds up the sword, Dad's fave weapon. He said you should train with it. Damon's jaw drops as he grabs the hilt. Dad's emotionally constipated, but he loves you heaps, she says. Louise says, one final note from the boss. Dad says, you're a noble. Duel with swords, not dinner forks. He says, don't be weird again. She mimics Dad's grumpy face perfectly. Demon nearly faints. Doman draws the blade, grinning as he gives his pops a thumbs up. Later on, the night guards are chilling at their stations. When a wave of dark spooky vibes smacks right into them. Lights out, they drop to the floor faster than a bad Wi-Fi signal. Mr. Dark Mage creeps in, letting his sleepy mojo flood the whole house. Everyone gets Milda's dreaming so hard she accidentally decks Paul in the face. The intruder sneaks his way over to Louise's bedroom door. He licks his lips like a total weirdo while ogling the girl sleeping there. He knows he's on a job for the Black Snake, but hey, the view is a nice bonus. But suddenly, he freezes as Damon's voice booms from behind. Yo, what the heck are you doing in here? The mage spins around, terrified by the I'm gonna end you vibes Doman is radiating. Doman lets it slip that he only showed up because he sensed some funky energy in the air. And surprise, some random creep is hanging out by his sister's bed. The intruder is shook because his snooze spell should have worked on everyone. He can't figure out why this kid is still wide awake. Even worse, he didn't even notice Doman until he was right in his face. Panic mode. The mage whips around and fires a cheap shot, blasting magic straight from his palm. It scorches the floor, but Doman, already gone. Too slow. Bro, totally stunned. The mage stammers. Who even are you? Me? Doman's buddy. You're the one breaking into my house. Wait, your domain? The guy asks. Yup, in the flesh. Cool. We met. Now, who are you, and why are you creeping on my sis? Just then, footsteps thunder down the hall. The cavalry is coming. Oops, that loud magic explosion was definitely not subtle. Getting caught by a mob. Yeah, that's gonna be a hard pass for him. He isn't about to stick around for a group beat. So poof, he turns into smoke and yeets himself out the window. Doman sprints over, but the guy is already whined. What kind of weird mojo was that? Dooman wonders. Morning comes, and the stable hands find the best horse belly up. Total panic mode. How do we tell the Viscount without getting fired? They think they're toast since the horse was totally healthy yesterday. While they hyperventilate, Demon pops up. Had a bad hunch about this. They jump out of their skins seeing the young master lurking there. RWE ... They can't even form a sentence. Chill out. Guys, Doman says, waving a hand. I'm just here to check something out real quick. It's not your fault, the horse croaked. I promise. Give me a sec alone. Once they scramble, he looks closer. That creepy magic trail led him straight to this stall. After a quick scan, he confirms it. Definitely nasty dark mana. It clicks. That intruder last night wasn't just a creep. He was a dark mage. Fam doesn't know. So Dumen keeps it hush. Dumet spook. Damien locks onto the mana signal and tracks it. Turns out, creepy wizard is camping in a forest cave. Mage eyes his loot from the snake boss and lolls hard, calling Cedric a total noob for actually buying that junk. Lied to Cedric about it being for some curse. But nah, he was totally scamming him. Just wanted free materials for his weird science experiments. Thinks he's a fallen angel stuck doing trash jobs for pocket change. But he's totally forced to take this path since the church is hunting him. Gotta lay low. Suddenly, Damon's voice pops up behind him. Damon's like, bro, your smell is absolutely rank. Crack a window, dude. Demand trolls him. Mage is shook to see the Viscount kid again. Mage asks how he found him. Followed your stink, obviously. Dude is honestly flabbergasted hearing that. Heard rumors Demon fought the Black Snake. But, up close, he realizes this kid isn't just reckless. Damien's glad he stayed on high alert. Figures Snake hired him. Mage admits he's there to wreck Damon's face. Damien flashes an evil grin, telling him, bad move. You're gonna pay with your life. Mage gets super triggered hearing that. Throws a hand up, charging a magic blast. Plans to capture Damien and make him a lab rat. Damon's like, yeah, good luck with that. Swore he wouldn't kill this life unless he absolutely had to. But there's one exception to the rule, and that is, dark mages get deleted. Bad luck for you, you're one of them. So, bye. Mage panics that Damien knows his secret class. Realizes Damien isn't just some random NPC. Won't let Doman escape, or he'll get in trouble. Spams a bunch of magic attacks at Damien. Damien dodges it all, rushing him before he can blink. Mage freezes, seeing Damien ready to end him. No escape, sliced dude gets cut in half. Weirdly, his body starts resetting itself. Damien recognizes that Regent cheat from the estate raid, admits the guy is strong for doing garbage quests. Mage reforms, grinning. Attacks don't work on me. Bro, that just makes Doman mad. He tells the mage, I'll spawn kill you till you run out of juice. Stabs forward to shatter the mage again. The mage admits Damien is a pest, but he's not exactly sweating it. Solo run. Bro, you were cooked the second you walked in. Suddenly, Damien finds himself getting yeeted across the room by creepy dark bats. Dude rigged the whole cave just in case the church showed up. He tells Damien, you're gonna regret messing with a ULAN officer. Damien's stuck like glue, while the bats go to town on him. Mage swears, there's no exit, just rotting and dying. The bat swarm piles on to turn him into a snack. Mage cracks up, like, you literally did this to yourself. Remembers Cedric's rule. More damage equals a fatter paycheck. Adding this kill to the scoreboard means extra spending money. Stoke Damien's toast, he starts yapping about hunting Louise next. Then Damien speaks up. Yo, was that a rot curse, or what? Mage whips around, jaw on the floor. Damien's totally fine. That nasty curse just fizzled out like nothing. He screams, what the heck do you know about dark magic? Damien sees the guy is absolutely shook. Funny thing, Damien's confused too. No clue how he lived. Then he spots the hand tat. Oh, snap. His authority is active. Back in the day, Dorgo whipped up this authority cheat code. Basically got totally broken and unfair. Since he gave his Death Knight to max stats and magic, Dorgo still wasn't happy. He needed his boy to be the undisputed GOAT. So he installed the authority update for him. Bam! Holy laser beams from the sky zap into Damien. Damien yelped during the download. Then the show ended. Boom! Got your privileges unlocked. Specifically, the authority of greed. Classic. Seeing the mark, he realized he kept his old save file skills. He figured he lost those perks when the timeline reset, but nope, still installed. Mage blasts him again. How are you not dead? Damien sidesteps. We all got secret weapons. Bruh, mine just happens to be literal plot armor. Hearing ULAN officer piqued his interest though. He's definitely heard rumors about that crew. Nasty guild of dark magic assassins. Real edge. Makes sense why this guy actually has moves. Mage ain't buying it. His gut says Damien is bad news. Gotta speedrun this fight before it gets messy. So the mage decides it's time to bust out the big gun he saved for the church, His bracelet glows. Damien blinks enemy, power-up incoming. As the bracelet activates, blinding green neon floods the room. This actually grabs Damien's attention, since he senses the mage spamming a massive chunk of dark mana. He clocks that the jewelry is basically a stealth mana battery. Armed with that, the mage launches a nightmare spell. He screams that Damien can't handle the heat he's packing. He fires the blast straight at him, yelling at him to burn and rot. The fire beam lands, and the mage grins, thinking it's game over. He thinks he's totally in the clear, since Damien just ate hellfire that burns literally forever. Suddenly, Damien's voice cuts through the smoke. He tells the mage he's got the situation completely twisted. The mage gasps, seeing Damien chillin' despite the direct hit. Damien clarifies that Authority of Greed doesn't just block magic. He looks terrifyingly cool as a green aura oozes off him. His hand mark glows wild as he basically aura farms right there. He reveals his skill, just vacuums up all dark mana. 0 crumbs. Damien's eyes shine as he stares deep into the mage's soul. The mage freezes, realizing exactly what that power means. He panics, wondering why this guy has such op abilities. Damien says, don't sweat the logic, just accept the gear diff. Damien strikes a dramatic stance, ready to delete the mage. He's salty about using powers from someone he totally hates, but he'll deal with it if it helps clap this annoying mage. Damien is down to tap into his Death Knight. Moves if it makes him strong enough to wreck the Dark Mage. He buffs his blade with aura, freaking the mage out. He knows that's a top-tier move only swordmasters can pull off. He can't figure out how Damien unlocked that skill tree. While he's buffering, Damien drops the soul-severing slash. The mage has 0 escape routes as the aura catches him. The hit is so critical it slices him in half and crushes the soul essence before the mage's HP finally hits 0. Damien demands the location of the Black Snake's base. Later, they head to Victor asks why they're going back. Damien tells him to hush and follow if he wants to stay employed. Victor then trolls his boss, saying, he looks fresh, but that book he's reading is sus. He's not wrong. The book is creepy, like it has a human face. Victor asks what it is, and Damien reveals it's a magic grimoire. He looted it after clapping that annoying dark mage. Victor thinks Damien is just pranking him. He admits he can't read, but he knows one thing for sure. Dark grimoires are ultra-rare drops. No way his boss snagged one. Victor catches a whiff of something totally ranked nearby. At the site, Doman hits Victor with some news. He has got a tiny favor to ask. That gross funk, definitely coming from Damon's bag. Vic asks, what is inside? Just a head, Doman shrugs. Vic cracks up, thinking his buddy is trolling him. He peeks inside and instantly freezes up. Yep, that is the Dark Mage's noggin. Before Vic can toss it, Doman grabs him. Zip it. People are watching, and we'll explain later. But first, one little thing. He needs Vic to handle a quick job. He hands over a note. Take this, and they head over there. Relax. You will not get caught. They split, and Doman heads for Black Snake H. Bold move by Cedric, hiding his base downtown. 2 scary bouncers block the door. What do you want? Doman drops his name. Casual. And suddenly, they're all ears. Oh, that guy. Doman is glad he is famous. Cool. Now let me through, he says. I am here for the boss, not you. They smirk. Go on then, tough guy. Suddenly, a flare shoots up. Demon blinks. What was that for? Shadows shift. Mages everywhere. Plus, a whole squad of goons pops out. Cedric clearly planned a surprise party. Surrounded by baddies, but Demon A's sweating it. He knows they are gonna regret this. He digs into his bag for a little treat. Inside, Cedric is chilling with Governor Baker. Knight Robert is tagging along too. Cedric plays the perfect host. Governor is loving the food and attention. Feeling good, he offers Cedric a deal. You know those rival merchant spots? They are all yours. Take him over. Cedric is stunned, but the Gov insists. All yours. Cedric is stoked but worries the rivals might whine. Sebastian tells him, chill, I will crush anyone who complains. Robert pipes up, eager to help. Wish I could pitch in, too? Cedric smiles. Nah, protecting the city is enough work. Robert turns beet red, hearing that, while the governor tells Cedric they'll give him whatever loot he craves. Rob and Seb keep stuffing their faces like it's a buffet. Low-key Cedric's just playing dumb because of his secret wish. He knows he just has to fake it a bit longer, then no more bowing to those losers. Cedric is plotting to totally take over the whole city, so they'll be the ones kissing his ring instead. Out of nowhere, one of Cedric's goons bursts into the room. Cedric gets salty, reminding the dude he's got company. The guards like my bad, but says he has major tea to spill. Cedric steps away from the snack table to hear the gossip. The guard whispers that Doman just pulled up to H. Cedric is shook, remembering he paid a dark wizard to delete that guy. Thank goodness he hired backup and didn't trust that wizard 100%. Cedric waves the guard off, acting like it's no biggie. Since Doman rolled up to the Base solo. Cedric figures the kid has a death wish. Outside, Doman chugs a couple of energy drinks to get hyped. In one speed run, he slices through the mobsters in his way. He leaves some guys headless and others chopped in two. While dismantling them, Damon's chill. He's got a backup plan anyway. Cedric steps onto the balcony to check how his squad is doing. And wow, big surprise. Doomit is wrecking them like they're NPCs. Cedric is totally freaked out. He can't believe Duaman soloed his entire crew. He has to ask his lackey if that's legit, the same guy. The dude says, yup, leaving Cedric even more confused. Damon's supposed to be the useless son, not a pro gamer. Then it hits him the Dark Wizard is missing, so he's probably toast too. Cedric realizes it's hitting the fan, and he needs help fast. He dashes back inside, leaving his minions standing there confused. Doman soon finds himself facing off against the wizards. They got magic sticks and are cocky that Doman can't touch them. They eat a massive fireball at Doman, but he doesn't even flinch. He points his sword right at the incoming blast, making the wizards LOL at him. They roast him for trying to block fire with a piece of metal. Jokes on them. Doman catches the fire using his secret Thunder Shadow cheat code, then he controls the flames and bounces them right back. Direct hit on their spot, causing a loud boom. The wizards can't dodge and get toasted to a crisp. With the noobs gone, Daman gets ready to raid the base and find the boss. Suddenly, he feels a crazy strong vibe getting close. Damien reacts just in time, ducking a punch aimed at his face. He hops back to check out the new challenger who just spawned. Damien feels the guy is dangerous. His aura is basically pins and needles. The mystery dude is Robert, and the vibes are so intense. Damien instantly clocks him as an official knight. To make it worse, a squad of soldiers surrounds him out of nowhere. Damien is shook to see a knight in a dump like this. Soldiers usually mean a big shot VIP is lurking nearby. Right on cue, the governor's voice booms from way back. Seb yells, asking why Damien is wilding out downtown. He swears Damien is going to get grounded hard for this. Damien is stunned and rudely asks if the gov actually just threatened to punish him. Seb rants that Damien trashed the city, says he tried to zero Cedric, a supposedly nice businessman. Plus, he raided Ced's shop and fired his staff. Literally, while the gov talks trash, the crowd is confused. He called CE legit. Everyone knows Cedric is a thug, but Seb makes him sound like a total saint. After venting, Seb tells Damien he's completely done for. Cedric is loving the drama, knowing the gov's got his back and Damien can't touch him. Damien finally clicks that Cedric is the guy he's hunting. He sweetly asks him to come closer for a knuckle sandwich. Cedric can't believe the cheek on this kid. Damien suspected Blacksnake had friends in high places, but seeing this, they practically worship Cedric. Then Damien annoys them again. He mocks Seb for calling a loser like CED a kind businessman. Seb screams at him to zip his lip immediately. Says he might go easy if Damien begs for mercy right now. Damien hits back that he sees no reason to beg since he's totally innocent. That bruises Seb's ego, so he decides to punish him. He tried being nice, but Damien made it weird. Seb sicks Robert on him. Robert nods and steps up to the plate. He walks up, telling Damien to drop the gear and surrender. Damien just lulls and roasts him for playing Guardian Knight. The roast stings Seb, but he spots something odd. Damien isn't scared. Seb asks if he's brave or just dumb. Damien just smirks. I'm just confident, bro. Seb cracks up and calls him an idiot. He instantly swings his weapon to smack Damien. Damien dodges, but the strike shatters where he just stood. Damien knows he's just faking the swagger. In a real fight, he's toast against Sebastian. He decides to just stall until the perfect moment. Damien zones out for a split second, and Oopsie is totally wide open. Before he can even blink, Sebastian is already in his face. Seb nearly lands a killer hit, but Dooman blocks and backflips away. Sketchy. He hits the dirt and realizes ooch. His arm is toast. Major panic mode. He blocked perfectly, but still got fried. Not cool. He starts wondering where the heck his plan B is hiding. Suddenly, Seb is back in his grill, taunting him about his focus. Okay, Doman finally gets it. This guy is freakishly fast. Damon's head is about to go splat when someone blocks the hit with ... This mystery hero parries so hard that Sebastian drops his weapon. Clumsy. Everyone's jaw hits the floor when they see this. And Sebastian is shook. He had no clue Doman brought back up. He screams at the newbie, demanding they identify themselves right now. Who'd comes off surprise? It is a girl decked out in shiny armor. She looks terrifying enough to make Sebastian sweat bullets instantly. He realizes the girl standing there is a freaking paladin. Suddenly, Doman hears Victor sprinting toward him. Doman grins. Why so late? Victor brought a hoodie-wearing weirdos too. Victor beams, acting like he did not just almost let his boss die. I am here. Cedric is losing it. A paladin? You have got to be kidding me. That basically means the church is involved. Big trouble. He is Sweat and Dew. They know about his shady deal with the dark mages. Doman is just hyped. His servant is back. He playfully pinches Victor's cheeks. Victor asks, "You good?" Doman is like, "No, you took forever." He jokes, "You trying to get fired or what?" Doman is actually pretty impressed. The paladin showed up. He tells Victor, "Glad you actually did what I asked." Victor smirks, "I always handle my chores." Boss, flashback. Victor sprinted to the church earlier and found them praying. Wheezing, he asks, "Is this the Holy Church branch?" This nun-looking paladin walks over and confirms, "Yep, right place." She asks why he is there. Victor says, "Message from my master." He hands over the note, duck, and a severed mage head. Victor explains it is proof someone is colluding with dark mages. The paladin gets super interested the second she hears that. She grabs the note. Even with the energy fading, she smells dark magic. She spots a weird symbol on the corner and immediately snatches the bag from Victor. She peeks inside. Oh look, it is the dark mage's head. Victor feels her rage spiking. It is Agito, that Yuan leader they have been hunting. The paladin wants to know who sent Victor. Cape off, armor on, it is go time. Now that she is totally in with Damien nearby, she's a whole new vibe. Less warrior, more girl. Vic's wondering if it's really her. Paladin tells Damien the Holy Squad got the proof he sent and they're running the show now. Damien's like, "Cool, handle it fam." She bows respectfully. Glad he's chill. Damien's hyped, his plan is working perfectly. Paladins usually live to serve the big guy. Super nice folks, always doing charity work. But versus demons, they go full scorched earth. They are basically a squad of hardcore fans leading the church's charge. Damien's proud he's got an ally. Then she steps up to speak. She tells the locals and guards that the church found a guy linked to that dark mage right here in town. The crowd is shook. A dark mage nearby? No way. She says, while they investigate, the church runs the city. Seb's jaw drops hearing. And he flips. Land work governs itself, says the king. Seb refuses to give the church control while he's around. She claps back. Crushing heretics is God's vibe, so church authority trumps the kingdoms, deal with it. Seb argues until she drops a bomb. He's a suspect. He freezes, stunned, and insists they'd never vibe with dark magic. She points at Cedric. That guy hid the mage. She says protecting evil means they're cooked. Sebastian is honestly. Freak Cedric, is this for real? He asks. Cedric denies it. Why would I do that? But she's got receipts proving he's lying. Since he's capping, she pulls out the notebook. It lists him buying gear for the bad guy. Every single purchase is logged there. She says, we can just check the stores to verify. Bro, Cedric knows he's totally busted now. He curses Ego for writing it all down. Still, he plays dumb. I don't know him. She ignores the drama and orders the squad to cuff Cedric, Seb, and Rob. Seb finally realizes Damien played them. Damien smirks like a villain as they drag him off. Seb knows the church means torture. Cedric tries a wild move. He yells at Robert. Like, dude, you really gonna let them drag you off without a fight? Cedric keeps stirring the pot, telling Robert he's being framed for stuff he didn't do. While getting hauled off, Robert spies his axe and decides to go full YOLO mode. He snaps the cuffs and tosses to guards like trash. Totally loose, he sprints for his weapon. Grabbing it, he vows to wreck every church guy there to escape. He targets the paladin first, glowing with aura to squash her flat. Cedric's crew grins, thinking Robert's got this in the bag. But Domino's Rob just signed his own death warrant. She dodges his swing way faster than his brain can process. She tells him he messed up big time, and instantly punches through his armor, an aura like wet paper. One solid hit from the paladin blows a hole right through Robert. Rob's buddies are shook seeing her crazy power. Doman just smirks, knowing paladins are total savages. Hand still inside him, she drops a frosty one. Defy God's will and get the smackdown. Simple as that. Robert flops dead, and she looms over him looking scary as heck. With nobody else to fight, Cedric and Sebastian get nabbed easily. Cedric eats dirt while Sebastian tries to act all God. Victor asks if Cedric runs Black Snake, and Doman nods. Victor roasts Cedric, calling him a chubby loser with zero aura. Cedric is fuming, but he's totally helpless right now. Doman thanks the lady, saying that wrapped up nicely. He knew she was buff, but not that insanely cracked. Sensing her vibes, Doman bets she trained under Azure Flame. That guy is the church's top dog and one of the 5 saints. Azure Flame is famous for crushing tons of heretics. She walks up to thank Doman for the church. Doman plays it cool, saying he was just being a good neighbor. She says the church digs his help and won't arrest him. Doman acts all innocent. When she says that, she knows he used them to hide his Black Snake raid though. Damon surprised she peeped his game plan. Busted, he bows and says, sorry for being sneaky. He explains the dark mage messed with his turf and fam. She mulls it over and tells Dooman she's gonna let it slide this time. Stoked Doman realizes she's actually pretty chill. She even adds that Dooman gets the cash for Agat's head. Damien does a double take, totally clueless, cause he didn't even know there was cash on the line. He asks what the payout is, and she drops the number. 1,000 gold coins. Victor is losing his mind. That's enough cash to buy a mini castle. Damien's tempted by the loot, but he tells the holy lady he wants something else. He hits her with a, can I swap the prize money for a different reward? Victor can't believe Damien is seriously gonna reject a fortune after blowing through all their funds. The paladin shrugs and says, yeah, that's actually doable. She asks what he wants, and he admits he's after the church's secret mana training manuals. The paladin is totally floored. She points out Damien is buff enough to squash Black Snake solo, so why does he need a textbook? Turns out, Damien had a reality check after scrapping with the dark mage. He knows he only beat Agito thanks to pure luck and his authority, power, and the next bosses are gonna be way harder. Damien knows he's gotta level up his game. He figures he needs the pro mana techniques real knights use. He confesses he's running on rookie skills, so he needs the advanced stuff to get better. The paladin looks absolutely shook, realizing he got this OP with just basic training. She squints at him, scanning his vibe, and sees a massive amount of energy already buzzing inside him. She figures this kid is a total freak of nature if he's telling the truth. Plus, she digs the fact that Damien slices up bad guys without hesitating. So, she decides to pitch him a sweet deal. She tells him, hey, I've got a way better method for you to get strong. Damien is all ears. And then she pops the question. Wanna join the paladin squad? She's super hyped, but Damien straight up rejects her, saying, nah, I'm good. The paladin's brain short-circuits. At the rejection, she demands to know why he'd pass up the ultimate gig of smiting evil. The paladin starts looking legit terrifying, making Victor cower behind Damien like a shield. Damien just chills, totally unimpressed by her scary face. Truth is, the guy has never been into the whole religion thing. Plus, he has zero interest in being a lapdog for the church. He can already picture them making him fetch heretics all day. Since he can't say that to her face, Damien cooks up a lame excuse. He claims, I'm just not worthy of the big guy's love yet. He adds that he just wants to wander the earth like a humble fanboy. Victor facepalms that's the dumbest lie he's ever heard. He's sure the paladin is gonna call him out on it. Instead, she grabs Damien's hands, squealing about how holy he sounds. Victor just stares in disbelief at his eyes pop when he sees the bluff landed. She's like, no cash, but take this mana hack. Still, she begs him to join her holy squad later. Then she drops one last request. After yapping forever, she finally intros herself. I'm Agnes Azure Flames, top rookie, she says. Damien's face lights up with hype, cause he totally called it. He plays nice, then asks to finish his biz. Agnes is confused. What business? But she shrugs. You do you. Damien struts right up to Cedric. Cedric's yapping. Then bam, gut kick makes him hurl. Damien laughs. So squishy. Like hitting a pillow. Dude's about to call him a piece of trash, but gets punted into orbit. He splats hard. Vic and Agnes are beat down done, he tells Agnes. Okay, satisfied. Vic asks if it's over. Sorta, Damien says. At the Blue Mansion, the big bus finds his son shaken in bed. Total shocker. Holland runs over. Yo, what happened? Crying. Irvin says. Damien almost ended him. Dad can't believe his happy kid is a wreck. He grills the guard, who admits Damien did it. Holland smashes a vase, totally livid. No way some peasant kid touched his boy. Had to be cheap shots, he figures. Furious, he sends knights to drag Damien in. Meanwhile, Damien gets home with Agnes's crew. Paul says, hi, but inside, he's mad his kid brought a zealot home. Acting chill, Paul goes, heard you're crashing here. Agnes claims it's just a spy on the heretic. Paul tries to kick them out, claiming the crib is too small. Agnes flashes cash. Paul zips his lip instantly. Suddenly, he's like, stay wherever. Mikasa Sukasa, folks. Dad handled. Agnes thanks Damien for the crash pad. Turns out, this was that extra favor she mentioned earlier. Then she hits him with another question. Again, join the church. Preach the word. Parents think she's just crushing on him. Agnes finally forks over the mana guides Damon begged for. She swears they're handpicked to match his vibe perfectly. Damon's like thanks, but gets confused seeing two books. Surprise, one's actually a sword-fighting cheat sheet. She felt weird giving mana tips without sword moves to match. Doman knows he totally doesn't need sword lessons, but hey, free loot is free loot. Titles are Destructive Sword and Destructive Energy. Subtle much. He's shook because he never spotted these dusty tomes in his previous life. Agnes hints they were tough to snag, so he thanks her again. Turns out, the church threw a massive fit about releasing them. Only her boss, Azure Flame, could pull the strings needed. Seems Mr. Flame got super curious about Dooman after hearing the gossip, thinks he's church material. So, naturally, Agnes asks if he'll join the Paladin squad. Dooman sticks to his guns, telling her, nope, still not interested in the holy life. Agnes sighs, promising to stop asking before she gets annoying. Still, she hopes he'll flip his script. One day call me when you do. She basically implies. Watching her leave, Dooman thinks, yep, total obsessive fanatic. Later, the church snoops raid Agato's hideout for clues. One guy voices a thought that's been bugging him. He doubts Dooman actually flatlined Agoto since that mage was OP and had been dodging the church for ages. His buddy agrees. Agoto might suck at melee combat, but his dark magic is legit. No way Dooman won. They're convinced Damon's capping, but since Agnes bought his story, they're kinda stuck. They debate snitching on him anyway. Boom. Agnes spawns behind them. Trust me, he's legit. The guys jump out of their skin seeing her there. She gets why they're skeptical, but insists Damon's truthful. One dude mutters, still hard to believe he's... Agnes reminds him, Dooman already explained the strategy. Dodge attack, slice head. Pretty straightforward, right? Sounds like absolute garbage to them. Impossible odds. Then, Agnes spills the tea. Dropped off the head, she also thought he was faking it. That's why she stalked him fighting those black snake goons. She saw him wreck dozens of dudes without a scratch. He literally parried a fireball. She drops the bomb. The guy's jaw dropped deflecting. Magic. That's impossible. Agnes smirks. Actually, he made it look easy. Agnes found out swordmasters are totally outblocking magic like it's nothing. Hearing that, the crew started low-key suspecting Damien. Might be one, but Agnes was like, nah, no shot. Still, she knows he's built different. A total beast. Turns out, Agnes only tagged along to try and get Damien to meet Asia. She's 100% sure Damien would be a massive score for the church. After spilling the tea, she told him to quit doubting and focus up. Meanwhile, some Leon Bloom Knights were already rolling up on the turf. Two noobs, Lavender and Opulpus, were led by Garrick, a pro knight. Getting close to the Haxon crib, Garrick reminded his minions what Marquise Holland ordered them to do. The mission was just nab Damien, but Garrick thought that was lame and easy. He wanted to make Damien pay for trashing the fam's rep. They rode past some random geezer, and Garrick hit the brakes. He asked if the old dude lived there, and the guy nodded. Before the guy could even ask why, his head went flying. Garrick sliced him for literally zero reason. Total psycho move. Garrick's excuse was that the old guy didn't bow to the Leon Bloom crest. Even his own crew thought that was messed up since the guy was blind, but they were too chicken to speak up and end up dead too. Garrick then told Lavender and Opus his great idea: drag Damien out, then delete everyone else there. Victor was busy doing chores when he saw three creepy knights coming his way. Meanwhile, Agnes and the squad had to bail because the hideout collapsed. Leaving the scene, they spotted Damien chilling on a rock, meditating. Agnes was totally shook by the sight. Even if she didn't get it, she knew that destructive energy move she gave him was for sucking up mana from the area. But she was floored that Damien pulled it off in just a couple of hours. Speedrun style. Damien opened his eyes to find the whole squad staring like fanboy. He walked up to Agnes, asking if they were done snooping. She nodded. Agnes noted he'd clearly leveled up based on what she saw. Damien was like, yeah, leveled up a tiny bit, I guess. He finally got why Agnes said it was tough. To get that book, the skills inside were insane for him. Turns out that energy tech was made to fix the sword skills mana drain. Because of that, Damien could recharge mana way faster than with other moves. He could basically yoink external mana for a bit. Things got awkward real fast once the nerdy mana talk ended. Agnes was about to ask if he wanted to grab some grub. Chilling together when Damien catches a whiff of major bloodlust in the air. He instantly clocks that some loser is crashing his turf. Damien tells Agnes, yo, gotta bounce and handle some drama at home. He adds, don't rush back on my account, take your time. Then bam, he zooms off like a human rocket, leaving Agnes totally shook. Agnes realizes only crazy mana skills could let him move at that insane speed. Back at the crib, Victor is getting absolutely wrecked by those goons from Leon Bloom. Dude is eating punches, like snacks, but still won't snitch on his boss. Victor refuses to talk, knowing they just want to jump. Damien. Suddenly, Paul bursts out, screaming at them to leave Victor alone. He grabs Victor, asking, bro, you still with me? Paul yells at the knights, why are you jumping a civilian for zero reason? Garrick sneers at what he just did as peanuts, compared to the shade Damien threw on Housebloom. Sounding super creepy, Garrick says, we're taking the kid. Now, he swears they won't touch anyone else if they just hand Damien over quietly. Paul figured they'd be salty, but he didn't think they'd stoop this low. Plus, Paul knows Garrick is straight up lying, because the second he gives up his son, they'll turn the place into a graveyard. With a firm voice, Paul tells Garrick, yeah, that's gonna be a hard no. Garrick asks, you shooey, cause you're gonna regret that big time. Paul stands his ground, refusing to flip, so Garrick tells his minions, trash the whole estate till you find the brat. Paul is screaming, stop, when a scary voice booms, y'all crazy, or what? It's Damien, strolling up with an aura so heavy, it could crush bones. He looks totally livid, and even Garrick feels the lethal vibes coming off him. The goons suddenly freeze, totally paralyzed by Damien's spooky pressure. Nobody can move a muscle as he walks past them to his dad and Victor. Damien asks, Dad, you okay? And he says yes, but stresses about Victor, who's beaten to a pulp. Doman roasts the knights. You guys lucked out. Victor's built like a tank. If he croaked from that beating, I would have ended you fools, right here. It finally dawns on Garrick that this scary dude is actually Damien. He figures Damien only beat Erwin earlier by using cheap hacks. Garrick barks at his men, get him, make him bow down. All Popus and Lavender charge at Damien like idiots. Since they refuse to learn manners, Damien decides to beat it into them. He snatches the nearest knight and locks him up. Perfect chance to test drive that new mana he just farmed. Since they crashed the party, Damien figures they're perfect guinea pigs. He wrenches a wrist and slams a chest punch so hard it rattles the dude's soul through his armor. Lavender's toast. So he locks eyes on Opus next. One clean chin check sends him into orbit. Zero sweat dropping both knights while Garrick just gapes. Just then, Victor shakes off the cobwebs and hollers for his boss. Damien spins around, checking if his boy is still breathing. Vic shoots a grin and a thumbs up. Damien smirks back, message received. Loud and clear. Gotta admit, his sidekick is one quirky character. Garrick hops off his high horse litter and stalks toward Damien. He realizes the Erwin win wasn't luck, but he's brain fried on how this loser got skills. Damien just claps back that it's none of his bees. Suddenly, Garrick bursts out laughing like he just cracked the Matrix. He points a shaky finger, claiming this guy isn't the real Damien Hack. The crowd's totally lost, and Damien's like, bro, what are you even waffling about? Garrick screeches at max volume, warning Damien to cut the cap. He thinks haters set this up to sabotage the Lambloom fam's glow. He's dying on this hill. That ain't the real Damien. He's convinced he's staring down a paid actor who was hired to wreck faces and drag the Leon Bloom name through the mud. Garrick rips his sword out, ready to make Damien pay for the disrespect. Damien sighs, disappointed that an official knight could be this thick. Garrick strikes a pose, ready to take Damien to school. Turns out Lavender's awake, but to dodge. Giddy clapped again. He plays possum on the dirt. Smart move. Before the throwdown, Victor hypes his boss to catch the dub. Garrick spots the skill, but his ego screams, easy clap. He sets his range, camping out for Damien to step into the kill zone. He swings, but Damien parries that weak sauce with zero effort. Damien grins like a psycho. He shoves Garrick back easily, leaving the dude shook. Even now, Garrick thinks it's just a glitch in the Matrix. He unloads a spam attack, betting Damien can't dodge them all. But Damien weaves through everything and decides to add some kick flavor. His eyes flash blue as he blitzes Garrick at god speed. Garrick can't even track him as he gets absolutely boom boot to the head, face planting him in the sand like garbage. Damien glares down, pure rage radiating off him, letting him know that headache was payback for Victor. Garrick scrambles up, coming back way saltier and deadlier. He busts out his the ultimate lion's mighty sword of speed. He thrusts forward, trying to mimic a big lion swipe. Even with that flashy move incoming, Damien's he poses up, blocks the hit, and shatters the blade into confetti. Before he can blink, Damien zooms past and deletes his right arm. Garrick shrieks like a banshee as his arm goes by. Dude hits the dirt. Shocking, Paul. Victor fist bumping cause his boss totally wrecked him. Garrick keeps wailing about his missing limb, but Damien's already there, blade right at his throat. Garrick instantly begs for mercy. Zero, chill. Still claims this ain't the real Damien. Delusional much. Doman yells back, it's literally me, you moron. Says he shoulda begged sooner. Kinda late for tears now. Bro, Damien's furious. He messed with the Not just that, he promoted his nasty servants. Top tier ugly squad. Garrick keeps crying, saying sorry. No. Damon's like, wrong guy to say sorry to, pal. Calls Victor over. Garrick freaks seeing Vic with a huge club. Sex later. Victor's worked his magic on them. Their mugs are totally puffy after Vic's beatdown session. Vic wants more, but Doman says, stop or the dude croaks. Vic's like, let's chop another limb or two. Doman agrees, ready to swing, but Dad steps in. Garrick seizes the chance, begging Paul. So sorry, man. Paul yells that one, sorry, won't fix this mess. Says they would have been totally toast if Doman wasn't Garrick panics, smashing his head down, begging Paul for a solid. Paul thinks for a sec, then signals his son to chill. Even without Dad stopping, Demon wasn't gonna kill him anyway. Wiping them out would ruin the tiny vibe the houses have left. Demon would fight Leon Blooms with zero hesitation, but he's worried about but letting Garrett go means they might clap back later. Damien's brainstorming when Agnes pops up. His face glows. Agnes might actually be useful again. Doman spills the tea to Agnes. Hearing the drama, Agnes says she can prob's help. She cooks up a genius plan. Since Haxon clapped Yulin's officer, the church can mark M as allies. Paul's stoked to hear it, cause it might save the fam from this disaster. Doman holds her hand, asks if she's in. She's like, yup. Domine smirks internally. Everything's going his way. D-Lock. He asks Garrick. You catch that? Church protection. Duma tells Garrick to go update House Lionbloom. Seeing Garrick's terrified, he tells him to scram. Get lost. The three losers snatch the deal and immediately dash off like terrified squirrels. Victor hypes their freedom, but Paul ain't buying it. He says they need a game plan pronto. So, Pops gathers everyone for a serious strategy session. Abel whines, asking why they're stressing when the church has their back. Louise busts his bubble the church won't fully save their butts. Abel looks completely shook and confused, and Paul confirms that Sis is actually spitting facts. He explains the church ghost drama involving noble families. Plus, the Leon Bloom crew isn't just scary because of their army. Paul points out there are tons of ways those guys could wreck them if they felt like it. Dad figures they have exactly two escapes from this mess. Either pay up or find a bigger baiter noble to hide behind. Paul likes plan B, but Agnes interrupts with a wildcard idea. She mentions Damien could suit up as a paladin. Damien freezes, stunned she'd put him on blast in front of the fam. As usual, Damien is like, yeah, hard pass. Paul drops it since Damien clearly hates the idea. Suddenly, Abel jumps up, questioning his dad's logic for letting Damien off the hook. Abel claims everything gets fixed if Damien just takes the gig. He tells Dad to force him, saying Damien's been a headache forever. Damien is heated hearing this garbage and looks ready to throw hands. Abel keeps blaming him for the drama. Paul gets sick of the yapping. Ord is able to sit down while he's still asking nicely. Dad's scary aura shuts Abel up. Paul agrees it started with Damien, but Twisty doesn't blame the kid for what went down. He reminds him that creeping Irwin was hitting on Louise. That jerk wouldn't have quit if Damien hadn't stepped to him. Paul notes that Damien actually defended his sister from the creep job that should have been Dad's. Paul stands up, pats his son's back, and gives him props. Damien lights up, stoked his dad is finally praising him. Paul assures him that from here on out, he will be the one handling the heavy lifting. Damien tries to chime in, but Paul wants to be the dad for once. Just then, the butler bursts in about a guest from House Gold Pixie. Paul is losty, never did business with those guys. The butler spills. Damien took a loan and bet the family farm. The due date is ancient history, which is why the repo man is currently knocking at their door. Damien goes from hero to zero. Dad punches him right in the face. Doman bounces to the lobby to face the music with the repo guy. Honestly, his brain is drawing a total blank on who this dude is. Guy says he is Olin, boss at Dash and Cash, a sketchy side hustle for House Gold Pixie. That is, when it clicks, the snake tempted him to bet the family farm. Swore it was the only cheat code to unlock a bigger bag of cash. Olan claimed the paperwork was just vibes, cause nobody robs a noble. It finally hits him that Olan totally played him into signing that toxic deal. Can't believe past Doman was dumb enough to hand over the deed. Doman asks the damage, and the guy says 300 gold coins. Damon's jaw drops, but Olan flashes the receipt, so he knows it is real. He is staring at the paper like it is alien code, because he literally has zero clue why he even needed that cash. Back then, now he is sweating, since the family bank account is basically empty. Already picturing his whole squad on the street begging for scraps, Olan drops the bomb. Pay up right now, or it is game over. Means that land Doman bet becomes Dash and Cash property. Doman tries to argue, like, bro, you said that was just for show. Olan shrugs, admitting he said that, but claims the Duke wants his coin. Noble status be. Cold sweat starts dripping. He realizes he basically just ruined his own life. Then Olan smirks, asking if he is broke. Looking defeated, Doman admits he has got nothing in his pockets. Olan grins wide, knowing exactly how this scene plays out. He flops onto the sofa like he owns the place. Yawns loud and lectures Doman about borrowing cash he couldn't pay back. Says he has got no choice but to take payment his way. Dude knew from day one that didn't have the skills to clear that debt. He likes gold, sure, but what he really loves is the drama. Watching fancy nobles crash and burn is his favorite hobby. He is already daydreaming about Doman crying and begging on his knees. Outside, Paul and the fam are pacing, stressing over the meeting. The girls tell the guys to chill and sit while Dooman handles business. But the dudes are too wired to sit, knowing their lives are on the line. Louise pipes up, reminding Dad that Doomanol always clutches up when things get messy. Paul nods, but points out that is usually when fists are involved. Fighting and talking money are two totally different vibes. Back inside, Doman is already wrecking Olan's goons for acting tough. Olan freezes seeing his crew totally flattened on the floor. The last henchman lunges at Doman to slice him, but gets code midair with a nasty uppercut. Demon points out the guy's huge mistake. Pulling a sword on a noble, he calls the beatdown purely self-defense. Of course, Olan screams like a banshee as Doman finishes the crew and heads his way. Olan abandons his cozy spot and flops to his knees instantly. Surprisingly, Doman smiles and says, "Can't pay you back yet." Olan shakes, stammering, "Teat, totally cool." Doman grabs Olan with a terrifyingly friendly grip, suggesting an alternative payment plan. With terror freeze in his veins, Olan has zero choice but to agree to the deal. Next day, Abel is super salty that Doman violensty his way out of trouble again. Turns out, Doman is packing his bags to bounce. Mom and sis go full nag mode, stay safe, eat your veggies. Abel literally crashes out, hitting the floor and clutching his head in agony. Paul can't believe the drama he's seeing. He tells Abel, "Get a grip and wish your bro a safe trip." Seems Dooman pitched a wild plan that Dad grudgingly agreed. Agnes is visibly bummed that she and Doman are splitting up already. Doman gives her props for all the helps he threw his way. Case closed, so Agnes says her crew rolls out tomorrow too. She can barely look at him without turning tomato red. She whispers a blessing, and Doman thanks her for the good vibes. She tries to recruit him as a paladin, but Doman hits her with a hard nope. After saying his final goodbyes to the fam, Doman decides it's go time. He heads to the ride where Victor confirms the loot is loaded. Surprise, it's Olane's carriage, and it's got crazy legs. Olan acts like a total suck-up, promising the smoothest ride ever to their destination. Doman is pretty stoked, praising Olan for finally having a chill attitude. Then he casually demands lobster for lunch. Talk about high maintenance? Once they're set, Doman tells Victor to signal the driver. Wheels spin, and they're off to crash at House Gold Pixie. They pull up, and both guys are totally floored by how fancy the place is. Damon's impressed, calling it a solid crib for the kingdom's richest squad. He turns to Olan, thanking him for the luxury service during the trip. Olan bows respectfully, saying he's already pinged the Duke, so Doman can just waltz right in. Inside, Olan is fuming because he got worked like a mule, not a butler. He secretly prays the Duke ends Damon's life. Harsh, but out loud, he smiles and wishes him the best of luck. Doman tells Victor to chill outside while he handles business. He steps in to face Adam Goldpixie, the Duke of Apple Kingdom. Adam greets him with a look that says, "Yeah, I know who you are." Then he cuts to the chase. "So, why are you here?" Doman spills the tea. He took a loan from the biz, and the deadline is literally today. Adam grins, thinking, "Sweet, got myself a paying customer." Then Doman hits him with the axe, ... In squats, S broke, but wants to settle the bill differently. Adam's totally clueless, wondering how to pay without cash. Damon's plan, crush the Leon Blooms to wipe his debt clean. The whole room, even Adam's squad, gasps. Adam realizes Doman knows the tea. His guard Jail nods, totally vibing with the boss. Turns out, a gold mine popped up between the rival turfs. Since the families have always beefed, they set a low-rank duel for the gold rights. Thanks to his past life intel, Doman already knows who wins. The Blooms won, used the loot, and got super buffed up. Meanwhile, the Gold Pixies took a massive L. So, Damon's gonna carry them to victory, to clear his tab. It's a double dub, pay debt, and check the Blooms. Here in the pitch, Adam admits the guy's got guts. He asks if Doman really clapped the second son and Black Snakes with a smirk. Doman says the rumors are 100% legit. Adam's interested since he's been hunting for a duelist. Doman swears that he is the best pick to 1v1 Michael, the Bloom's oldest bro. Adam shook, asking if he can really beat that genius Michael. Doman admits Mike's good, but promises he's just as cracked at this. Aaron's tonight cuts in, saying rumors are usually hype. He keeps going by betting Chelsea will bring back a way better fighter. Chelsea's been gone a month, scouting a pro for the duel. Since it's been ages, they figure she's heading back now. Chelsea never flops, so Aaron thinks she's got this in the bag. Hearing the squad, Domaiden admits they make solid points. But inside, he's mad. These dudes are wrecking his play. Adam asks, "Dalmon, what now?" "My team says you're a no." Peeping the test, decides he needs a show and tell to flip their script. Dooman warns it's a mistake not to pick him. He's the MVP. He swears whoever Chelsea brings won't reach his level. The squad gets salty about Damon's ego, asking why he's flexing before Chelsea's pick arrives. So Damon's like, bet, I'll block. Damien dares him to use his ult. Ernst is totally shook. Dame vows to face tank the hit to prove he's the main character. Ernst gets super salty hearing that, annoyed that a total noob like Dame is roasting him, so Ernst asks Adam if he can school the kid. Adam craves the drama, so he gives the green light. Soon, the two hit the arena to throw down. Vic is totally freaking out. He thought it was just a chat, not a full-on brawl. Dame tells Vic, oops, didn't plan this, but whatever. He tells Vic to chill in the back so he stays safe. Adam yells fight. To kick things off, Ernst bangs his spear, offering mercy if Dame begs on his knees. Dame trolls him hard, yawning and saying, hurry it up. Ernst flips out, warning the kid he's dead meat. Since Dame asks for the big guns, Ernst fires up a creepy aura. Dame thinks, okay, maybe I trolled too hard. Ernst screams he's gonna punch a hole in Dame's face. He charges, glowing blue like a neon sign. Dame's impressed and tries to parry, but holds his sword wrong. Sword breaks. Dame gets hit. Dame gets yitted back. Yup. Ernst mocks him for falling for it. Vic watches and screams, in total panicky, thinking his boss is toasted. But Dame sticks the landing instantly, shocking the whole squad. Ernst can't believe the kid tanked his sneak attack. Dame grins at Adam. I survived. The spot is mine. Vic tackles him with a hug. Glad he's not a corpse. Adam claps for Dame surviving that brutal hit. He's impressed, since he thought Dame was weak sauce. Adam then announces to the crowd that Dame is his new rep. Ernst objects, but Adam gives him the death stare. He tells Ernst to zip it and accept the L graciously. Ernst is confused how Dame isn't wrecked. Even Dame feels kinda bad for the guy. Ernst has skills, but Dame is just on another level. Ernst is mid-tier, but Dame is pro-tier, so he tanked it Izoe. But Dame had to act weak since only noobs can enter. Dame knows he would be toast if he didn't use mana to shield at the last second. Adam walks up, betting Dame has internal damage. Ready to help? He opens a subspace with his ring. He pulls out a box with some balance pills inside. Adam drops the bomb. He paid big bucks at the Alchemy Academy for this pill. Damien's eyes light up. He knows exactly what this magic skittle does. It's a stat booster, basically steroids, for mana, just like that last potion. Knights pop these for gains, Adam explains, but it fixes insides too. Damien snatches the loot and gives Adam a solid thanks. Adam pats his shoulder. Don't disappoint me, kid. Show me what you got. Next day, Doman hits the gym, feeling fresh. That pill was a total game. He checks out the gear. Not bad. He thinks this setup is actually decent. Suddenly, a short stack waltzes in. You that Damien guy? Doman nods. Yep. The shrimp then puffs his chest out. Name's, remember it? Just a low-tier scrub with his blood brothers. A total clique of nobodies. Then he drops the news. Me and the boys are fighting in the duel too. Damien freezes. He's staring at literal clowns. These guys are my backup. Pavel flexes, claiming they missed his fight because they were training hard. We would have schooled you way harder than Ernst did, the guy brags. Yeah, right. The three stooges are hyped to take down the Leyen Blooms. Delusional much. They cackle like hyenas. Well, Shu and Doman, away. Beat it, rookie. Don't ruin our vibe. Damien just wanted to scout the team's talent level. Well, mission accomplished. Expectations. 0. The idiots start sparring. Doman watches them flail around. They think they're pros, but it's just sad. The trio keeps bragging, swearing they'll crush the duel next month. Confidence is high, skill is null. They even high-five with a cheesy one for all. Mutter. Super cringe. Damien just stares. How are these Muppets actual knights? Victor spots Damien looking dead inside and walks over. You good, man? Domain sighs. We are so cooked for this duel. Victor tilts his head, confused. Huh, what do you mean? I can't carry these losers. Damien says bluntly, winning with them. Impossible. Rewind to last night. Adam asked Doman about his grind plan. Doman told the Duke straight up. I work alone. Adam called it, but rejecting Jail's coaching. That was a curse. Adam smirks. This kid is definitely one of a kind. Later, Adam grills Jail. So, what's your take on the kid? Jail nods respectfully. He's a beast. Truly exceptional. That last-second mana block against Ernst, genius. Most guys can't pull that off. Then Adam gets serious. Think we can win the duel? Jail hesitates. Honestly, it's gonna be rough. Jail's sweating it, because the duel is 3-on. First team to bag to wins takes the glory. Damon's good, Jail admits. But if the other two flop, we're done for. Adam turns to Jail. Yo, are the knights slacking or actually prepping for the big showdown? Jail spills the tea. Basic Knight Vincenzo runs the show. Jail figures they're totally safe. Zero stress. Damon peeps his team and spots a massive issue. They ain't just clueless. They look like total scraps. Doom bets big money. They're gonna flop hard with those weak moves he saw. Gotta fix this mess. He calls out 3 dudes. Shocker. They're shook that he just roasted them. Demon gears up and invites them to catch these hands. Pabbles hyped Doman wants smoke despite their skills. Pabbles steps up, claiming he gets first dibs. Damien's like, nah, come at me all at once. Pabble thinks he's tripping, but since that's the vibe, he rolls with it. Swords down, they rush Damien to check his ego. Right before impact, Damien goes beast mode. Blink, and Pabbles eating dirt on the floor. His squad's code. Coldie's like, what just hit us? Then he hears Doman roasting him from behind. Victor thinks Damon's wilding, but he claims it's just class. Pabble sits there, brain buffering. Last memory? Charging Damien with the boys. Real talk. Damien dodged every single hit. Simultaneously, then one tapped them all to sleep. Pabble gets it. Now they got absolutely wrecked. Pabble stares at him like he's a total boss. The squad wakes up and bows down to their new king. Doman asks, who taught you scrubs? Pabble snitches. It's Sebastian Vinch. Damon's shocked a mid-tier knight taught such garbage. He'd yank them out, but wants zero drama right now. So he tells them, whenever you wrap up with Vinny, slide by for extra practice. Pabble stresses. If Vincenzo spots they got jumped, he'll know something's up. Damien tells him to chill out. He promises he can wreck them without leaving a mark. Pabble realizes they got owned, but still look fresh. He didn't think magic like that was real. Doman admits he learned a special smackdown skill. In his past life, some guy roamed around fixing thugs. Dude was called the character corrector. His method? Beat him for 1 full hour straight. If 1 hour failed, he'd double the pain. Legend says his longest beatdown lasted over 500 hours, but he got soft because his opponents always ended up looking like a horror movie mess. So he brainstormed, how do I wreck people without sending them to the graveyard? Dude went full training montage mode to figure it out. Boom, he invented the ghost slap or whatever the traceless strike. Exactly the move Demoni just unleashed on those 3 It hurts like crazy but leaves your face looking pristine. Pure evil. Doman looks at the trio. You guys realize you're absolute trash, right? They couldn't even clap back because, well, facts are facts. Chill out, Doman says. We got a whole month before the main event. Plenty of time to turn these losers into actual warriors. Victor face palms hard, wondering what kind of chaotic mess his boss is cooking up now. Just as he's getting back to the grind, a butler bursts in. Bus, the Duke wants you. What's the drama? Doman asks. Turns out, Chelsea is back, and her face screams trouble incoming. FYI, Chelsea is Adam's oldest daughter, and a total handful. She struts in, gives a smug bow to Pops, announcing her grand return. Ernst cracks a tiny smile, glad she didn't get eaten by wolves or something. Adam cuts to the chase. Did you manage to snag us a fighter for the duel? You bet. She grins and points to the guy kneeling behind her. The dude stands up and immediately starts flexing his credentials. I'm Gumo Blackwing. The name drop works everyone in the room. Suddenly perks up. Turns out, Gumo's a celeb. Rumor says he went wild in the Aclaren War. He basically mowed down every rookie knight in his path. Stats say no newbie can even touch him. Even Adam smirks. He's heard the hype. Gumo's ego inflates. Oh, the Apple Kingdom knows my name. Nice. He pledged loyalty to me. Chelsea beams. So he's our guy. Trust me, Dad. He'll crush Michael like a soda can. Ernst nods along. Yeah, Gumo's got the muscle to drop him. In their eyes, this dude is basically peak performance. While Michael's still a work in progress, Adam admits Gumo is cool but adds, it's complicated. Chelsea blinks. Totally. Confused? Complicated. What are you babbling about? Pops points at meet the other candidate. Damon's just standing there, armorless, looking like some random pedestrian. Chelsea flips out. Excuse me, I specifically said wait for me. Adam shrugs. You said it. Sure, I never promised I'd actually listen. Swap him out, she begs. Adam plays hard to get. I'll think about it. She loses it. Think. There's nothing to think about. This guy's a zero. Chelsea argues, obviously, Gumo is the pick. While she's busy glazing him, Gumo smirks at Doman. Adam shuts her down. Gumo's buff? Sure, but Doman tanked Errancy's ult like a boss. Chelsea goes off on Pops, claiming he's totally sleeping on her skills. She keeps yapping rudely till Adam points out the audience. Chelsea fakes a grin, giving a quick my bad, blaming travel, burnout. Doman instantly clocks the major beef between them. Adam says he needs to consult the squad before deciding. Then he basically tells her to get lost. Suddenly Guillermo opens his trap. He says skip the wait. Him and Doman can settle it. Man, Jail is shook by the audacity, but lets him cook. Gumo says the toughest dude should get the spot. He glares at Doman hinting, throw hands to pick the main event rep. Chelsea's Shookie's talking after she said zip it, but Adam actually vibes with Gumo's logic. Adam turns to Doman. You down for this? Doomy knows Adam is testing him again, but he knows he's gotta flex his skills to fix this mess. Doman claims a full fight is overkill. To find the strongest, he suggests a quick grapple instead. He wants a strength check right here, right now. Gumalo's mocking Doman, saying he'll rip his arm off. Doman claps right back. With a creepy look, he promises to just pop Gumo's shoulder. Gumo lunges, but Dumo outplays him instantly. He yanks Gumo, lifts him, and slams him flat. Everyone's jaws literally hit the floor. Even Chelsea is totally shook by the scene. Jail is low-key impressed. He saw Gumo start it, but Doman used that force to wreck him. Jail decides Doman is actually built different. Gumo can't take the L, screaming at Doman for the shame. Doman just switches to his troll mode, meant to pop your shoulder, but you're tough. Gumo takes the bait and pulls his weapon, ready to end Doman. Chelsea freaks, screaming at Gumo to chill out. But Gumo's gone full beast mode, locked on, and seeing red. Before he can act up, Jail's scary aura fills the room. Stop. Jail grabs his sword, roasting Gumo for drawing near the Duke. JL's vibe is terrifying. You have a death wish? Damon is hyped by the power coming from. Jail stands tall, giving off total elite knight vibes. Jail warns Gumo, letting this slide for Chelsea. Don't push it, once the drama cools off. Adam claps, done deal. Damon's our guy. Ernst butts in. Hold up, that fight was rigged. Ernst claims Gumo is totally fried from his trip and needs a serious nap first. Dominerals, this guy again. Seriously. Ernst insists. He's a weapon user. Fists prove nothing. Chelsea jumps in, back in the vibe. Dad, we need a real duel. To be fair. Adam tells her to chill, but soon they're screaming. Adam snaps. Stop flexing how useless you are. Chelsea shuts up. The room gets super awkward. Shockingly, Demon raises a hand. Yo Adam, can I take that challenge? Adam agrees. Later, Victor grills Doman for the risk. Dude, there's literally 0 point in taking this deal, why risk it? Doman says he has a plan. Vic thinks he's nuts. So they head over to the blacksmith shop the Duke recommended. Since his sword snapped, Adam sent him to gear up. Damon could totally clap Gumo with a stick, but hey, free loot from the Duke. Inside, they drop the Duke's name. The clerk's like, yeah, I got the memo. He shows the armory. Vic's jaw hits the floor. Doman sees Vic geeking out and asks, you want one too? Vic gasps. Even the expensive stuff. Doman nods. Why not? Adam's paying the tab anyway. Doman spots a weird double-bladed sword. The clerk sees him staring and says, an old knight ordered that custom piece, but he bailed before it was finished. Never even got to equip it. Doman asks, unified ringing steel. The smith nods, but the smith looks shook. Wait, how'd you know that? It looked just like the sword musician's blade from his past life. No hesitation, Doman says, I'm taking it. The guy is stunned. He actually wants that metal. Doman assures the clerk. Chill, I know exactly what this junk is. He explains that regular metals boost mana, but this ringing steel, it's weird. Instead of absorbing magic, it pushes the energy out, creating ripple waves. Doman then asks, does this slicer have a name tag? The guy buffers for a second, then recalls the last owner dubbed it the Thousand Sword. Doman instantly shoves the blade into his scabbard. Zero hesitation. Squad is about to bounce when a maid bursts into the room. She plays the shy card, introducing herself as Rebecca. Drops the bomb. She works for Chelsea, who wants a face-to-face with Damien. Damon's like, pass, but Rebecca insists he's making a huge mistake. She hints that Chelsea holds way more cards than he realizes. Damien rolls his eyes but figures, hey, might as well see what's up. Lead on. Then, he tells her. She guides them to some fancy eatery. Chelsea runs, claims it's ultra-exclusive reservations only. Snobby, nobles allowed. Adds that the whole joint is ghost town mode, just for him. They pull up to Chelsea's private room. Becca halts. Doman enters, wondering what scam Chelsea is cooking up. Steps inside, and hit with some super sweet perfume. Chelsea's pouring wine, gesturing for him to crash at her table, giving him the most terrifying death stare ever. Doman sits. So, why the summon? She teases. Wow, someone's got a short fuse. Wants to wait for grub? Damon's like, nah, spill the tea now. Realizing she can't play games with this dude, she drops her one condition. Quit his house rep. He gives her a dirty look. You sound like someone who has zero faith in Gumo. Chelsea argues, Gumo will slice you to bits if you fight. Claims she's just saving his energy for the big show. Total disaster if Gumo gets wrecked in the brawl, she says. Kinda logical, but Damien asks, why must I quit though? What's the payout for me stepping aside? Chelsea promises to make all of his wildest dreams come true. Surprised, he asks, you even know what I want? She boxers him as a basic noble. chasing clout and cash. Domain figures the Duke is the best sugar daddy for that stuff. Chelsea admits the Duke is the big boss right now, but tells him to look at the long game. Bet on the future. She implies, "'Cause I'm taking the throne soon." After her speech, she locks eyes with Damien. "Go tell Adam, you're out." She's super sure her plan is working, thanks to that weird vibe-altering perfume filling the room. Total shock. Damen just says, "Hard pass." She totally chokes, accidentally blabbing. Wait, that's off script. Damien sees she is shook that her love spell perfume was a total dud on him. This charm fragrance isn't just perfume. It's basically nasty voodoo magic designed to brainwash people into fake love. Doman smelled the trap instantly, thanks to the cheat codes from his past life. Honestly, with that level of spooky fumes in the air, a normie would have become her total simp in seconds. But Mr. Protagonist has the greed skill, so he just vacuumed up the magic. Doman hops out of his seat, grilling Chelsea on why she looks so panicked that her plan flopped. She flinches but pivots fast, demanding to know why he'd reject her generous offer. Doman just heads for the exit, dropping truth bombs. She can't provide what he actually craves. Chelsea screams like a banshee, demanding to know his price. He goes stone cold serious. "Just my family living their best lives." While she's buffering from shock, Doman keeps strolling toward the door. He tosses back a warning. "Tell Guo to prep for our showdown." Chelsea, allergic to losing, tries a spectacularly dumb move. She threatens to wreck his fam if he doesn't quit. Big mistake. Before the words even leave her lips, Doman teleports over, slamming her onto the table and gripping her throat. Guards storm in, but he releases her. Just 2 speed blitz their necks. Blink and you miss it now. They're all clutching their throats in agony. "Go grab a potion," he quips. "I kept the cuts shallow on purpose." He turns back to Chelsea, admitting he's super tempted to end her, but he's practicing. "Death is a mercy," he smirks. "Wait until you see what I've really got planned." He drops a demon face, leaving her paralyzed with fear. Rebecca bursts in a second later, asking if the boss is okay. Chelsea explodes with rage, vowing to delete Doman from existence. She screams at max volume, summoning Mustang Fury. In waddles Mustang, looking like a total slob of a wizard. "Why didn't my love spell work on that kid?" she demands. Mustang shrugs, admitting he is clueless too, though he mentions some rare weirdos are immune to dark arts. He bets Doman is one of those glitchy outliers. Chelsea, having a tantrum, chucks something at his head. She asks for gear. At the pub, Mustang stammers. Apparently, the guy needed to blow off some steam. Chelsea flips out. He has a duel tomorrow, and he is getting wasted. She grills Mustang. "Can that drunk actually beat D?" Mustang promises that Guillermo is a custom-built weapon from Yulin. Claims he has never seen a knight with higher dark magic stats. "Chill out," he soothes. "Yulin promised you that Duke title. Remember?" "Glaring daggers," Chelsea warns. "Mustang, he better be right, or she is literally ending him." Little do they know, Damien is lurking at the top window, soaking up every word of their shady Yulin gossip. Intel secured. Damien bounces straight to the training room. He drops into Zen mode while Victor Saws logs in the corner. Didn't think he would have a reunion with Yulin this fast? He already figured Chelsea was plotting with the Dark Mage squad. Confirms that creepy energy he felt from Guillermo was straight up dark magic. Damien starts drumming on his sword, making it hum with weird vibes. Instead of boring the Duke with a lecture, Damien decides to just give a live demo. Next morning, Guillermo struts in, convinced the win is in the bag. Pell and the squad pell up to catch the showdown. They grill Pavel on who's gonna take the L. Pavel shrugs, betting on Guillermo since the dude has a rep. The brothers cheer. Instantly Damien losing means freedom from his 2-day torture fest. Dude has been absolutely wrecking them, and they swear he is actually having fun doing it. Pavel admits he would love to see Damien lose, but let's be real, not happening against Guillermo. Damien strolls into the ring, looking bored as usual. Guillermo flexes, sneering. "Wow, surprised you didn't bail." Damien rolls his eyes. "Quit yappin'. You sound dumb." Adam hits the stage to remind everyone, winner gets to rep the fam against the Gold Pixies. Adam begs everyone to be chilled with the results. No tantrums. Definitely throwing shade at Chelsea with that look. Chelsea is smug, thinking it is won. Adam drops the flag fight, is on. Guillermo whips out dual axes like a maniac. He spins them fast, yelling, "Big mistake showing up. Kid, time to prove why he is the wild beast." He charges, but before he lands a hit, Damien taps his sword just like practice. Boom. A sound wave blasts right into Dude goes flying. He scrambles up, raging. What was that cheat code? The crowd is just as lost. Nobody has seen moves like that. Guillermo is absolutely fuming, screaming that Damien is using some glitchy sorcery. He rushes again, but Damien stands there like a statue, just keeps tapping the sword, sending wave after wave. The base keeps hitting Guillermo right in the guts. Suddenly he is wheezing. Insides turn to jelly by the vibes. The waves hit his brain, and he starts puking up black gunk. He is wrecked, but still manages to call Damien a B. Damien is bored now. He unleashes one massive wave to end it. It cracks his armor and shatters the dark mojo inside him. The whole arena is left jaw-dropped, and right there Guillermo suddenly hurls this gross black goo everywhere. Total puke fest. Adam's totally lost, asking Jo why the dude is glitching out. Adam finally clues in. Yep, they're totally plotting what he feared. Meanwhile, Chelsea's like, "Welp, I'm officially toast." Gumo loses it, hurling up every bit of gross dark goo inside him. Dude deflates fast while puking his guts out. Doman strolls up like, "Cotton 4K, bruh, tricked us all." Gumo faceplants, looking half dead, while Demon roasts him. Fake. Adam's brain buffers. Wait, fake night? Huh? Damien spills the tea. Gumo was doping with sketchy dark magic. The whole crowd gasps, totally shook. The second DMN drops the M word. A butler panics. If the church finds out, it's game over, man. Adam asks, "You knew this whole time?" Doman nods. Yep. Damien's like, "My bad for keeping quiet though." But he explains, he had to stay hush-hush to trap the real baddie. The Duke is floored. Hear that, and gets super nosy about the drama. Demon drops truth. Dark mages crash the Duke's pad. Then the bombshell, and the mole. It's Chelsea. Chelsea goes statue mode hearing her name dropped. She plays dumb, telling Dad, "I literally have zero clue." Adam facepalms hard, looking totally grossed out. He low-key suspected it but didn't want to believe the cringe. Adam is furious. She invited dark mages over. Not cool. Ragin', he orders guards to cuff Chelsea and her squad. Lock 'em up till we figure out their deal. Chelsea keeps arguing, screaming, "Daddy, I was framed." Guards grab weak Gumo and drag his gross self away. 2 guards near Chelsea. She knows if she's caught, it's over. So she shrieks at her secret night pals. "Help me." They charge the guards, trying to take M out and smuggle Chelsea away. Seeing the chaos, Adam tells Jo to snag his daughter. Jael nods on it and leaps into action. Jael hits the arena. Warning, Chelsea simps to move. Eyes glowing, Jael flexes a crazy aura. The knights know they're cooked. Even though they know they're not strong enough, they yell, "Run, KO," and block Jael. Jael draws his sword. Big mistake, guys. He swings, and just the sheer wind slashes through them, wrecking everything. Chelsea barely dodges, but her bodyguards get sliced in half. Now Chelsea screams in total horror, seeing scary Jael stalk closer while she sits in blood. She starts sobbing. "Get away from me." Then she begs Ernst, "PLZ, save me." Ernst pulls a human shield move, jumping right between Jael and Chelsea. Demon watches like, "Bro, you seriously got a death wish right now?" Before wrecking him, Jael lists all the cool stuff Ernst did for the fam. He mentions Adam thinks Ernst is MVP material, but Jael warns him, keep guarding her, and he's gonna have to delete him. No choice. Jael goes full villain mode, aura flaring up, while telling Ernst exactly how messy things get if he doesn't chill. Ernst finally snaps out of it, realizing he's basically begging to be He drops his gear and kneels, letting the guards snatch Chelsea up. Chelsea's still trying to gaslight her dad into thinking she's innocent, but Adam tells her to zip it, calling her total garbage. He says her drama could totally ruin the family vibe. Adam is big mad. She dragged the whole squad into the mud. He gives her the wildest stink eye, while letting her know that his biggest L ever was letting her exist in his life. Chelsea starts sobbing, screaming she had zero to do with this whole circus. Adam just tells security he's sick of hearing her annoying. He orders them to mute her and get her out of his face. Guards obey, covering her mouth before dragging her off stage. Doman just smirks, happy he yeeted another rival off the board. Days later, soldiers are persuading the knights to spill the tea on everything. One guy admits he fell for Chelsea's trap after smelling something funky. Jael finally clicks that Chelsea was boosting her clout in the house using dark mage hacks. Jael is super bummed, wondering why she'd pull such a weird move. Chelsea's in jail, beaten up, blaming her dad for this whole mess. Growing up, she just wanted a little validation from her pops. But no matter how hard she tried, Adam was never impressed. Even when she gave him flowers, he tossed him and looked at her like dirt. Chelsea never got why her dad gave her such icy glares. While she's crying, a servant brings grub. Chelsea dives right into the food. Zero hesitation. She chows down to hype herself up. She ain't dying like a loser. She's ready to do literally anything to survive this. While she eats, the servant watches with a super creepy look. Meanwhile, Domineer's Adam wants him and heads to his room. Adam pours them some wine to chill. Demen tastes it and says it's fire. Adam laughs. Impressed, he noticed. He tells Doman it's cheap stuff, but totally his fave. Adam chugs his drink while Damon just stares. Adam whips out a cheese plate, claiming it's from Blanco. He swears the cheese and wine are a perfect combo. Domain says, thanks and tears into that cheese. Adam finally spilled the tea. He actually let the Churchies help with Chelsea. Damon's jaw hit the floor. He thought Adam was going to play detective solo. Adam was like, that was the plan. But the dark wizards ghosted them. Doman gasped. Then Adam dropped more info. ... They nabbed Chelsea's squad, but the magic creeps totally dipped. Adam just wanted Doman in the loop since he helped with the drama. Damien was super bummed. 0 wizards got busted. He's acting salty. He didn't jump in earlier. Adam's officially done chasing bad guys. He dumped that mess on the church. Doman was like, wait, did ... Chelsea snitch on the wizards? Adam shook his head. She stayed quiet. Adam said her lips were zip tight. Even ... after they went full medieval on her. He admitted the girl's heart. Then Adam got real. Chelsea wasn't always this whack. He spilled her backstory. Turns out, her mom was just a regular nobody. Young Adam met her while hunting. Classic me. Sparks flew, things got wild, and boom bun in the oven. Adam was shook that a one-night stand actually created a kid. He totally refused to accept a peasant kid, had his fancy DNA. That's why he kicked Chelsea and ... Her mom took a curb. Later, he got nosy and looked them up. Found out the mom died from the plague, but Chelsea made it. So Adam finally dragged the kid home. After venting, Adam wondered why he even bothered bringing her in. Doman hinted softly. Maybe 'cause she's actually fam dude. That hit different. Adam wondered if she just wanted to fit in with the fam. Then it clicked. Chelsea doing ... All that crazy stuff was just a desperate cry for attention. Adam sighed she could have just chilled as a rich girl. Realizing he was oversharing, he blamed the wine. Sorry for the trauma dump, bro. Suddenly, a butler bursts in screaming bad news. Adam fricked. Guards phoned Chelsea had permanently checked out in her cell. 4 days, post-tragedy ... It was clear she rage quit life on her own. With her gone, the hunt for her crew hit a dead end too. For embarrassing the fam, she got a totally basic grave. Doman knew the Dutchy drama seemed over for now, but he bet his lunch it wasn't. No way Yulin's quitting. Damien spaced out, till his pest servant bugged him. Victor was whining about Damon's messy laundry habits again. Later, Ernst was spotted getting wasted in the street. Dude was drowning his grief in booze. He faceplants, totally obsessing over Chelsea. Turns out, he's been her guard since diapers. They were basically inseparable. He endured her rants about impressing Dad with weeds. Picked special blooms, just to make Pops smile. But Dad just tossed him like literal trash. Ernst is gutted. He failed to save his girl. He beats himself up, wishing he'd croak too. Mid-breakdown, Rebecca waltzes in. She's all smiles, so naturally, he attacks. Grabs her throat like, the nerve of you. He swears this mess is her fault. She gasps for air. He's about to snap her twig. He finally chills when she admits she's avenging her boss lady. Says the suicide story is total bogus. Claims the torture actually did her in. Ernst flips out, demanding the receipts. Beska reminds him that Chelsea wasn't the type to quit. Plus, the cleanup crew saw crazy torture marks. Wounds no normal human could survive. Cuts deep enough to end anyone. Then she drops the bomb. Duke iced her and faked the suicide note. Ernst realizes the Duke is that toxic. She adds that she got close to Chelsea for clout, but Chelsea was actually chill. Caught feels, so she can't let this slide. She's dead set on payback for her says she needs his muscle for this heist. Grabs his hand, releasing magic mist. He's a mess. So the spell hits hard, totally zonked. He asks for orders. She gives the deets, and he bounces. Mustang pops up, giving her props. He worried the Juju might flop 'cause the guy's a pro. She smirks. Everyone has a soft spot. Poke that bruise, and you own M. For air, it's totally Chelsea. She just played him. Low wells at how clueless Ernst is. He's gonna go nuclear when he learns the truth. Then asks if Damien is next on the list. Mustang's like, we can't just chill while Damien goes wild. Plus, our spy spilled the tea Damien smoked and he totally messed up the big boss's master plan. Mustang tells Rebecca that's reason enough to end him. Best part, Damien has zero clue who we are. He thinks we bailed. So we've got the element of surprise. Main goal, don't waste this golden shot to take him out. Meanwhile at the gym, Damien is zoning out when some creeps try to jump him. 3 sticks swing at once, but he blocks and wrecks him. Turns out, it's just Pell and his brothers pulling a prank. Damien sighs, even with a free shot. To ambush him, they couldn't land a single hit. They drop to their knees. Sorry for being total losers. Pabble figures they're dead meat for failing. But Shaka Damien says, class is dismissed. The guys freak out and ask him to repeat that. He asks if they want more pain. They scream, no. Fast, Pabble's confused why he isn't beating them to a pulp. Damien says, rest up. Big match with the Blooms in 2 days. He figures they need a break before the showdown. Then he tells M to actually use their brains on his lessons. The trio looks totally blank, since they only remember getting beat up daily. Damien facepalms. Did they learn nothing these past weeks? Turns out, all that fighting wasn't just for cardio or muscles. It was deeper. He had a secret plan, but nobody caught on. Sad. Suddenly, he spots something. Pavel is quiet, actually thinking. For once, Damien grins. Looks like Pavel finally cracked the code. He drops his weighted gear, hyped for the duel. Later, Adam's crew rolls up to the grassy plains. Seeing the enemy, Adam asks, "What's the vibe on him?" Damien's looks like a top-tier squad, he admits. Individual skills, pretty cracked. Honestly, Adam chuckles. Lion Bloom loves his elite training. Right then, a runner from the other side jogs over with a note. Seems Liam wants a quick face-to-face first. Adam shrugs. Sure, why not? Over at camp, Holland finds his kid, fast asleep. He kicks the bed. Wake up. Meeting time? Lazy bones. Michael rolls over, whining, "Dad, you're too loud." Holland snaps. This fight against the Duke is huge. Mikey flops back onto his bed. Not happening? Pops. Holland sighs. Fine, guess I'll have to crush Damien myself. That makes Mikey sit up straight, instantly. Wait, Damien's actually rolling with the Duke? Yeah, Holland nods. Duke picked him as their champion. Mikey goes from bored to hyped in 0.1 seconds. Soon enough, the two squads face off. Adam roasts Holland. You called the meeting and showed up late. Classy, Holland smirks. Why so salty? Over a few minutes? Bruh. They chuckle, but the vibes are totally toxic. Gel clears his throat, like, can we focus? Please. Holland nods at Gel. Been a hot minute, huh? Come join my crew. The Duke's place is a snooze fest. Gel immediately shoots that idea down. He has zero interest in swapping teams. He is Duke loyal forever. Holland disses Adam again, then spots Damien lurking behind him. Holland sees red. He honestly just wants to beat the snot out of Damien himself for what he did. Damien feels the hate, but just grins like a troll. Suddenly, Holland gets this super weird feeling in his gut, and it is all coming from Damien. How is a pro like him sweating over some rookie night? Is this kid secretly overpowered? Holland actually has good, but he has to admit one terrifying thing. This newbie might actually be on Mikey's level. Mikey spots Damien, loses it, and draws his sword on instinct. He squares up to attack, but Damien does not even flinch. Luckily, Holland screams at his son to chill out and put the weapon away immediately. Mikey snaps out of it. Stunned, he even grabbed his sword. Gilles yells, drawing a blade in front of the Duke. You crazy? Adam adds, that is a major crime. Dude, big mistake. Holland sweats. He is just super eager to win. Passion. Adam is not buying it. Yeah, I am not letting that slide. So, how are you going to pay for this huge Holland? Mikey's reflex just made this way complicated. He realizes that Mikey must have seen Damien as a monster that needed deleting ASAP. Adam sees a golden chance to milk this situation. I could cancel the duel. He teases, but I won't. Holland knows, Adam never lets things go for free. Predictably, Adam says, I am adding new rules to the game. Holland, here's the terms and size. Fine, whatever. Deal. Defeated, Holland and Mikey slink back to their tent. Damien thinks, dang, Adam really played them good. Milking the drama to score some bonus points. Adam gives the side, weird that Mike pulled a blade on you. Damien plays dumb, no clue why he tripped out. Bruh. But honestly, Damien is low-key shook and impressed that the kid unlocked his sixth sense this early. Wild. Now he's hyped for the duel. This is gonna be good. Meanwhile, Holland is grilling his son. Why the sword? You almost wrecked our rep, you know? Michael ignores the lecture. Did you see his face though? Dude knew I'd draw. Just stood there grinning like a psycho. Michael's buzzing. Never met a crazy guy like that before. He's beaming. Finally, a real challenge. Holland gets it now. The kid's been bored to tears. Crushing new. That's why he's pumped to fight Damien. Then Mike asks, so, are we screwed? Since I kinda messed up the deal with my stunt? Holland chills. Relax. Son, we got this in the bag. Time for round one. Let's get this show on the road. Ref yells. Reps. Front and center. Need a strong start. Adam asks, who's up, Damien? Damien is about to pick his fighter when Sebastian crashes the party uninvited. Yo, I train the knights here, he brags. So I should pick the fighter, not this amateur. Damien blinks. Who is this clown? Oh right, it's that total loser. The guy training those trash brothers? Figures he's just scared Damien will steal his thunder. Whatever. Damien steps back. Have your moment, dude? Let the man speak, Damien tells Adam. Adam nods. Your call then? Sebastian. Shocker, he picks his own kid. Fabian nepotism mud. Daddy thinks his boy's gonna slay and impress Adam. Adam's intrigued. Heard the kid's actually legit. Fingers crossed he doesn't choke. Enemy team sends out Ronald. Chubby. Kinda goofy looking. Fabian yells. I am Fabian. Who are you? Peasant? Just Ronald. No fancy house, bruh. Fabian gasps. A commoner. He gets mad. Time to school this? Nobody. Ronald shrugs. All talk, just like every rich kid. Triggered, Fabian charges. Blue aura glowing hard. He swings for the fences. But Ronald swerves. Fabian trips over his own feet. Embarrassing. Ronald sees the opening. My turn. Ron's totally chill, just roasting Fabian and calling him a pathetic loser. Fabian loses his cool and rushes in, but Ron catches him slipping and slice handgun. Fabian's face just lights up with horror as his arm goes flying right past him. Even Adam is stunned watching his knight's limb drop. Vincenzo facepalms hard, regretting dragging his son into this mess. Ron keeps clowning him, saying don't act tough, then drops the iconic line. You're fired. Fabian's rolling in agony while Holland grins victory time. They stretch your crying Fabian out. Total embarrassment. Duma knew the guy was soft, but wow, didn't think he was that useless. Adam's salty. He wanted wins, not a horror show with severed arms. So he hits up Doman, asking what the heck. The plan is now that they took a fat L in match 1. Adam wants Doman to fight, but Doman says, nah, not yet. He says if he steps up for round 2, and Michael shows up for round 3. They lose anyway. Damon tells Adam to chill. He's got a pick for round 2. Adam's shocked and asks who the mystery fighter is. Classic. It's Pavel. Dude nearly faints when Doman picks him. Domin just tells him to remember beat Dronzer, training he gave him earlier. Pavel's freaking out, but Doman swears he'll win. The brothers hype him up too, saying they believe in him. Adam thinks Pavel's a nobody, but Domin insists he's a winner. Says he gave Pavel special training just for this duel. Pavel's practically sick with nerves before stepping up. He finally drags himself into the arena and finds himself facing a scary knight. Huey's one look at Huey, and Pavel knows he's out. Huey's so cocky he thought he'd be fighting deep. Since it's not Doman, he plans to speedrun this fight. He aims his weapon at Pavel and dashes in fast. Pavel's frozen in fear when the attack catches up to him. Sword inches away. Pavel's body blocks it on autopilot. Pavel hits the dirt, but Huey's shocked the kid stopped him. He admits Pavel isn't total trash, like he thought. Even Pavel's stunned, thinking it was just dumb luck. Huey comes at him again, but Pavel jumps back and dodges the hit. Pavel watches the dust and blocks a sneak attack from Huey. Now Huey starts realizing something is seriously off because Pavel shouldn't be blocking these moves. Before he knows it, Pavel's actually holding his own. Pavel can't believe he's surviving way better than expected. It finally clicked that's why Doman was so cocky about this match. Doman grins in the back. Looks like Pavel finally woke up. Turns out, those flashy moves, Damien used to wreck the squad. Pure House, Lion Bloom style. Since Pavel got smacked around like a million times, his body just knows how to dodge on autopilot. Damien bets Pavel could block that stuff in his sleep. Pavel clocks that. Huey is copy-pasting Damon's moves, but looks like he's lagging. Proves Damien is just built different. Pavel totally gets Damon's tough love now. Panic mode off. He starts reading Huey like a book. Pavel levels up, smashing right through Huey's guard. Could have ended him, but just gave his cheek a shave instead. The crowd goes nuts. Did that actually just happen? Huey flops. Blade at throat. Ref calls, Iggy. The squad goes wild. Big win for House Gold Pixie. Even Mike is confused. Huey is way stronger, but still got wrecked. Final boss time. Mike steps up, making the Duke sweat bullets. They face off. Doman says he's actually hyped to fight Mike. Mike smirks. He's been waiting for a guy like this. Thinks Damien's finally a worthy opponent. Doman snorts, yeah, right. Mike draws his blade. Don't bore me, dude. Moments ago, Huey was begging Holland to end him for the EF. Holland's like, get up. Not your bad, you lost. He saw Huey had the stats. Just bad luck. Still, Holland's chill. Victory is in the bag with Mike. He tells Huey to scram. But Holland's got a weird feeling. Huey's op, yet Pavel read him like a preschool book. That lion style is top secret. How did it leak to the public? While he's puzzling, Mike interrupts. Buzzin' to fight Doman. Says he finally found a match like himself. Dad's like, you got this. As a kid, Mike was obsessed with swords from day one. So, he had these huge hopes that the world was full of bosses. Total letdown. Reality checked him hard. Mike steamrolled everyone, even the strong guys. Winning got too easy. Just another Tuesday. Bored, he quit the game. Then Damien logged on. Finally, found a rival on his level. He's just praying this guy isn't a total flop. Mike whips out his blade and charges straight at Damien, but the dude doesn't even flinch and casually sidesteps the attack. Next thing, Mike knows, he's eating a knuckle sandwich. Then Dame follows up with a boot that launches him straight into orbit. Mike shakes it off, resets, and dives back into the fray. He unleashes a killer combo, but nope, can't even touch the guy. Suddenly, Dame's just chilling. Right? next to him, hand still stuffed in his pocket. Total flex. Mike goes all in, launching a massive aerial strike to end this. Boom. Direct hit. Dust flies everywhere. Smoke clears. And Dame's just standing there without a scratch. Brr. Mike starts raging. Stop dodging and fight me for real. He rushes in again. So Dame finally grabs his hilt. You want a show? Fine. But Mike is super sure his blade will tag Dame before he can even draw. Speed check. Snap. Mike sees his sword sliced in. 2. Then realizes his head is next. Dame did all that one-handed just to farm aura points. Then it hits him. Reality check. The arena is pristine. No scratches. Turns out, the fight never actually happened. Crowd stunned seeing Mike on his knees, unaware of the horror show he just saw. He basically hallucinated his own death 10 times over. When he finally looks up, Mike gets it. Damien is a monster he can't even touch. That vision was just a trailer of what would happen if Dame actually tried. Terrified, Mike bows down. I surrender. GS. Round 3 goes to House Gold. Pixie, that's a wrap. They win the whole duel. Post-fight, the Duke throws a feast for everyone, even the losers. Drink up, party time. Bloom Knights want to say thanks, but their boss is glaring like a rabid dog, so they freeze. Adam tells the Marquis to chill out and vibe with the moment. He even pours Holland a drink. Winner's etiquette, right? Holland takes the cup but is racking his brain. Why did Mike just quit? He figures some bad luck must have hit him. Plus, this party feels like a massive troll just to rub the loss in his face. Meanwhile, Dame stares at the fire, plotting, mission accomplished. He bagged the win. For the Duke and taught those Blooms a lesson. Don't mess with a fan. But he knows the real grind isn't over. Dark mages are next. Suddenly, Mike pops up, asking to sit next to him. Dame's shocked, especially when Mike starts hardcore fanboying over his skills. Mike even pours him a drink. Dame's just like, oh, okay. Mike confesses he never thought he'd meet someone way more OP than himself. Still, he's stoked he met Damien. Mike thought they were equals. Then went, JK? He's totally OP. Damien shook Mike is chill, even after he clapped Irwin. Mike's confused, but his gut said a real fight would have ended him. Damien realizes Mike has no clue he unlocked Spider Senses just by having M. Mike literally battled him in his head. That's when he knew Damien was built different. Mike felt legit terror for once. Like King Mer. Damien's glad Mike has those instincts. It legit saved his life. He knows Mike would have lost an Armand's life. He tried it. Mike looks up, realizing the world's way bigger than he thought. Damien asks if he wants a tip, and Mike's like, hit me. Damien confirms the world is huge, just like Mike said. He says his talent is rare, but he's not the main character. Damien says in the Empire, alone, at least 3 dudes are stronger. So he tells Mike, don't get cocky. Damien and Mitzi thought he was the GOAT. Tildergo humbled him. Mike asks if he still thinks someone's better than him. Damien shuts that down fast, claiming he's currently top dog. Mike argues, but Damien says, don't chill till you're on my level. Mike vibes with that, promising to remember it. Suddenly, Adam and Holland pull up. Adam's hyped their bonding already. They bow, asking the Duke what's good. Adam says he's done chatting with Holland, so here he is. The deal was, if Damien won, he'd get vault access. But Holland was being salty, so Adam forced a new deal. Holland's mad because he can't forgive the Irwin beat, but he gotta swallow that rage for now. He apologizes for flexi nights at Damien's crib. Damien senses the apology is capped since he skipped the Irwin drama. Holland admits he can't open the vault, but has a consolation prize. It's a spatial magic ring from the White Tower, holds 100 kilos of loot. Damien's impressed that dimensional gear is worth a small castle. He hates that Holland welched, but lets it slide. Damien takes the ring and says thanks. Holland offers something else instead of the vault. Since the mark places sick weapons, Damien starts shopping. Then it clicks he needs something stashed at the Lion Bloom crib right now. So Demon hits up Holland, asking to snag a bow. Holland thinks that's a super random request. Dolman drops the bomb. He needs it to get his lil bro Abel hitched. Abel's chilling at home when he gets a massive bad vibe out of nowhere. Post-duel Dolman tells the Duke he's ready to bounce. The Duke shook that Damon's ditching them already. Adam mentions they're throwing a huge feast in his honor and hints he should stick around for the food. Doman says he's ghosted his fam too long and really needs to jet. Since Doman won't budge, Adam caves to his demand, but begs him to wait a day so he can arrange some bodyguards. Damon's like security, and the Duke admits, yeah, Damon's op, but he wants to prevent any bandit drama on the road. Damien knows for a fact that he doesn't need babysitters, but doesn't want to be rude to the Duke. So Doman says yes and thanks the guy for being cool. Shortly after Doman and Victor exit the Gold Pixie place, heading home, the Duke assigns them to guards. But poor Victor's walking cause he's just the help. Victor's stoked they're leaving now that Damon's mess is finally cleaned up. Damien gives him the death stare, daring him to speak up, but Victor looks away fast. Then Victor whines about how comfy the ride there was. Unlike this walking nightmare, he throws shade at his boss for chilling on a horse. Damien notices Victor's gotten chubby and plans to run him ragged once they're back. When the sun dips, the knights say it's camping time. Doman gives the green light. They pitch tents fast and Victor grills up some steak. He feeds his boss and invites the guards on duty to dig in. The knights are like thanks, but no, saying they'll eat later. Suddenly, Damien flashes back to his goodbye scene with Pavel and the brothers. Pel was bawling, grabbing Doman and begging him to stay. Doman wonders why they're being such stage. Pavel says he's unlocked beast mode thanks to Damien tells him you did the work, and the dude swears they won't forget the training. With total respect, the three bow down, treating him like a legend. Back in reality, a bush rustles, and a knight goes to scope it out. Damien says chill, but the guy is too obsessed with duty. Out of nowhere, a dark magic spear zooms in, launching the knight into a tree and skewering him. Instant chaos mode engaged. Some dude in the trees was like LOL. The Duke sent babysitters. He figures the guards are total wimps. Honestly, mystery voice guy pops out its errands. Dark magic's got him tripping. He looks totally cursed. And Knight 2 is like, yo, why act so crazy? Then Mustang and Becca sneak up, dropping some nasty mind control perfume. The funky smell drifts right at Damon's crew. The noob knight gets zombified but Dooman chills. Damancy's Vic is about to lose it too, so he punches his lights out. Safety first. Becca makes the knight twist his own neck. Yikes. Doman tries to help, but the guy snaps his own head off. Gross. With the extras gone, it's just Dooman versus the creeps. Becca's shook that her magic smell didn't wreck Doman yet. She figures he must be built different for a low-rank scrub. Now creepy Becca is super obsessed with our boy. She tells Mustang, let's slice him up for science class. Doman puts his dukes up. Ready to brawl these three? Alright fam? That wraps it up. Digging it. Type next part down below. Smash sub, ring the bell, and drop a like.